What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to yet another episode of Opinionated. Yours truly. I am running late in here because I was just actually hanging with the neighbors. They're doing the whole barbecue things, and they kind of invited your boy in real quick. But I was like, I'm gonna grab a little something. I'm gonna be a little nice with people, and then after that, I'm gonna dip. Then I looked at the time and I just kind of said, "Oh shit, I need to really dip." So I could be here with you guys. It was funny because I just got into. I was like, "What is all of this gas that I smell?" Realized my neighbors is doing. I'm like hitting them up on the freaking text, like, "Yo, I smell a lot of gas, right?" They're like, "Oh, sorry, we're doing a barbecue." I said, "Oh shit, that's what's up." "Oh, you want to stop by real quick?" I was like, "You know what? I think I will. I think I absolutely will." So yeah, that's exactly what happened. Give me a second because I want to fill me a drink and then we can get started for the night. Not much from my beer left since I left there, but we gonna have a little something left from the night. Anyway, hopefully that you guys are doing well. Once again, I am your guy, Resla. I don't even think I had any of my stuff going off, to be honest with you. Hold up. Boom, boom, boom. Is this even working? I ain't check all my sound effects at all, so let's find out.
Welcome to Opinionated with Resla.
Oh, there you go. Now we know something is working. Something is working. Okay, cool. I didn't have enough time to really check all this stuff. But anyway, I didn't really know what we were going to be talking about. The original part of the stream just said pretty much a let's talk. Like I said, I am your guy Resla. But I kind of decided I'm going to switch the actual topic up. I actually do have a topic for you guys. So if you manage to catch me say, I almost said it. I record on different streams. You guys don't know. I do record like on Twitch as well as YouTube, as well as another area that I don't tell you guys about. But so that's going to be the only area that's not going to see the new changes. But the stream title for today is going to be like, you think you know me? Now, what exactly do you think I'm going to talk about? Before I even get cooking and started, what do you think I'm going to talk about? For people who think they know me versus those who've been around long enough to actually get to know me, what do you think I might cover for this particular conversation? I was just going to do a let's talk, but I just figured I would just throw it in absolutely as opinionated and we just get straight into it. Before I start cooking with it, I just want to know what your thoughts are before I start getting into it. Because other than that, I'm expecting what I'm expecting. Cool. I expect that from you. That's the sad part. I expect nothing less from Locksmith Jeremy. It's got to be gay. If it's not gay, it's not Jeremy. You put that out. Listen, you did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. All right? You did it to yourself. That's no one else. So I'm going to give you some time to actually think about what you think I might actually mention before I start getting off into it. But before all that, I want to say Leopard already trolling from the last stream. First, shame on you, Leopard friend. Locksmith Jeremy in the building. Sasquatch was just a question mark. No, we here. We here. I know it seemed like I was a little bit late. I know, but we here. I know. And a little bit of a grace period. Peace Dynamo's in the building. Listen, Miss Raven's in the building. She said, if you think you know Resla, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. And there are definitely a lot of people that think that they're smart enough to think that they can dissect or diagnose everybody that they run across and they think they know themselves. Resla, couldn't help myself. I know. Look at that. DE's up in the building as well. Let's see. And of course, as people start rolling in, make yourselves known. Look, Uncle Tom is in the building as well. Resla's not black. Okay, cool. No problem. We're gonna tackle this from a lot of different angles. So first and foremost, you know how I like to start it off with a good, natural, strong feeling, long stroke. You guys, I don't know if you're gonna hear some of the noise because they're out there still playing music in the backyard. But let's set some of the records straight for you guys. First and foremost, eat a dick. Yeah, I said what I said. Eat a dick. That's first and foremost. If you do not like me or my content, you should not be watching. You shouldn't be watching me. You should not be wasting your time. And let me just tell you something straight the fuck up. I don't want you here. I said what I said. You're not special. You're not necessary. This community is doing what we've always been doing from the very start, regardless of what you think, what you say, and how the fuck you feel. We gonna come right out the gate with the shit. You see, the problem with people nowadays, if they think that their little complaints, that their half-ass opinions, that they're in their comments, somehow hold the weight, the gravitas that I should be giving a shit, that they think that their voices, not even voices, just really literally typing. Nah, you're not even noise to me. I really could not care less. And they'll say things like, oh, here's just Resla complaining again. He's stirring the pot. He's trying to make something out of nothing. You know what? You know what I have to say about that? Eat a dick. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Either way, you know who's also spending their time watching me? You. The person who chose to think that you have something to say that was going to make any fucking difference. If you think I am going to tiptoe around your feelings or your soft ass messaging, you're dead fucking wrong. This show that I like to run called Opinionated with Resla isn't about playing it safe. We're about getting into the actual conversations, getting into the truth, and no matter how uncomfortable that actually makes people feel. And here's the shit about it. Every time I hear someone says, debates are how the internet makes money, I can't help but laugh. I can't help but laugh at that. It's not. Never has been. And to that response, eat a dick. Debates don't pay the bills, especially not for YouTube. Clicks do. Viewerships do. Not debates. Speculation, of course, those who like to spectate do. Manufactured drama does, but here, no, we're not manufacturing anything. This is just the real deal of what we got. If you can't handle that, the door is over there. And if you have a problem seeing the door, I will help you out myself. We said it in first quarter. We're going to say it again. I will not suffer you. You're not necessary. Now, I've heard it all. I can show you how to make your channel big. That's what they say. Then the same ones that come in and actually say that probably only have like 43 fucking subscribers. No engagement, no community, no identity. They got all the advice that they think that they can give me. Respectfully, eat a dick. You think you know how this works, what I am doing is work, or you think you want to try to give me what you think worked for you or what you think is working for you? There's a saying that my grandmother used to say, and I'm going to say it, and you guys already know what it is if you've been watching me long enough. Used to bees don't make no honey. The fuck do you know? You don't know shit. You know what? You don't know shit because you don't know me. You don't know my grind. You don't know my vision. But somehow you think you can tell me how to run my channel. And yeah, they'll say, Resla complains about the people in his chat. Yeah, you're fucking right that I do. And if you're just one of the people that like to sit to heckle, to distract, to derail the conversation, eat a dick. I'm not here to tolerate you. This space isn't for you. You don't have to answer the call to YouTube's notification. Let me make this crystal motherfucking clear for you. This is the second quarter of the year. And we're sticking to everything that we were stating even in the first quarter. The vision is set. The tone is locked in. Don't like it? You know what to do. You don't run shit here. We do. We, the community that went through all of this to be able to build up this. You as an individual, your ideals, your advice, and your clout doesn't mean shit. This is our space. This is our community. Get on board or get the fuck out. I'm not here to play babysitter. Let me just do this because apparently people don't get what the fuck I'm talking about here. Maybe you need to catch a breath. I'm not here to play babysitter for you. I'm not here to play babysitter for you, so maybe you need to take a breath. I've been saying I don't need to suffer you. I'm just joking. Guess what? I guess so am I. Fuck around and find out. It's been the very common thing as we've been hearing for 2025 and even 2024. Fuck around and find out. I'm not a babysitter. I'm not a peacemaker. I'm not an algorithm pleaser. If that was the case, I would have been had my numbers up. I'm here to talk to you guys about the things that bother us on a regular basis and also talk about truth. Unapologetically, if you want to put it that way, unfiltered, and of course, uncut. But you guys think you want to come here and just talk about what the fuck you want to talk about, and you're dead wrong. If you can't handle the heat, time to hit that fucking X button on my channel. But if you're ready for what's already been happening, and of course, what's going to be happening next, of course, welcome to Opinionated. And for the last time, if you're not good with it, eat a dick. I want to talk about the illusion of the online debates. Because apparently that's what a lot of people are trying to turn my fucking channel into, which has never been. Let's really talk about these so-called online debates. Because a lot of you think they're real. You think that when two or more people's names get online, that the genuine clash is the idea of what's supposed to be taking place. And you're wrong. That's just what you want it to be because that's what gets your rocks off. That doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to be taking place. All you want is the fucking circus. And if you want clowns, go to other places that provide you that. Peanuts, bread, circus, trapeze artists, and all the other shit. All you're looking for is a high stakes WWE match. Just less choreographed. Online debates aren't, at least for what I've seen here, they're not about learning or growth, which is part of the premise of my fucking channel. But what you guys want to see, what you guys try to make other people's channels turn into, are not about learning and growth. They're about spectacles. They're about ego. They're about people talking shit about subscribers and money. The algorithm loves a fight. And that's why I don't give a shit. They love the anger. They love the people that love to get angry. The longer you watch, the fatter their pockets get. Not yours, theirs. And that's not really discourse. Because they already said they didn't call it discourse. What they're calling it is digital blood sport debates. Which, when you look at it, it's not really just a debate. It's just people just waiting to just call each other names and to see who gets emotional and falters first. Who gets so emotional that they cannot hold their points anymore. That's not and never has been what my channel, especially this show, Opinionated, has ever been about. And the audience, you guys are the fucking spectators. You are the ones looking for gladiators. You're looking for someone's nuts to coddle and fucking love. You love someone to root for because, quite frankly, rooting for yourself in real life never measured up. You love to cheer as Rome fucking burns around you. They say debates are how the internet makes money. No. Because this whole idea of even panels and everything is new to YouTube, still in its infancy stage. This is not something that's been taking place for as long as YouTube's been around. I love how you try to bring these half truths and try to dress that shit up in a fucking tuxedo. Debates don't make money for you. They make money for the people that keep you wired. They keep you ready to diddle yourself. The people who are doing the hard work, those creators, those teams that are being built, they're the ones making money. And I don't have any problem with them doing it. But the entire premise of my channel is to have you think. And instead of you wanting to think, instead of you just saying, you know what, I don't want to think, and just not being at my channel, you think that you can transform my channel into an area of non-thinking. You want to be a part of those platforms? Go to those platforms. You can go to their platforms. You can go for their advertisers, and you can go ahead and take a master class at grifters. It's not what I do here. A lot of people in a lot of these spaces, especially panel spaces, are farming outrage, and you're the product, not their content, not the topics that they're looking at. You are the product. And a lot of you, I'll just be straight up, are too stupid to see it. Yeah, and I called you stupid. You don't like it? That really got you emotional? Because we just finished talking about our last stream. If you're emotional, you're definitely someone who could be manipulated. Click off the stream. And the most of these debates that you're looking at, most of them are fakers. They're not real people with their real opinions. They're playing a persona. They are faker than rappers that we have here. Wow. Get them to try get them to try their best, and they make it even worse. So apparently that little bit of time wasn't enough. How about you take a 24-hour nap? See how you feel later, John. That's how drunk I am. Now you can take a 24-hour nap. That's how drunk I am. The next one becomes a full-time ban. Now you gotta, after that, you're gonna have to get a whole new account. Fuck around and find out. I can't believe rest of the you shouldn't be shocked at this point. I've been told you what I told you. A lot of these areas that you're looking at for a lot of these people that are coming in to have these debates, they're pre-planned. They're pre-planned drama centers. And they set narratives just like anywhere else. You go there to hear the same conversations. There's a new mouth or the same mouth or your favorite mouth. Honestly, you're the John. They're the prostitutes. And you're paying for your favorite one. If that makes you feel a way about it, sit there and think about it for a while. Would you say that most of these people have sponsors and that they're getting paid out, that they work for a company and that there's advertisers looking for them? Or are they pretty much setting up a red light district that you can turn around and say, I want that one? Again, no shitting on them. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But I always ask, are you doing what you're supposed to do? For the most time when I speak to people, they're not. That's how you get dumbass people like John who just do the same dumb shit because they like to suck off the tit of drama. They think that doing shit like that is going to be, quote, push my buttons. No, they don't push my buttons. But as I said, I don't need to suffer you. Somehow they think that if I just say it, ha ha ha, I'm gonna keep saying shit, and he has no choice but to sit there and do. No, I don't. It's just that simple. You said tell the truth. Tell the truth about knowing it. That's how I. That's how I. What the fuck? That's how I drunk I am. Telling the signs. Okay, okay. I just didn't really read that twice. What? Okay. A lot of people are setting narratives for you guys. And the one thing that we've been always doing for so long on this platform are dissecting narratives and talking points. Honestly, you shouldn't be around watching for arguments, watching for a sales pitch. You have I've been saying this for well over a year. You have so many places that you can go to for that. So many places. It doesn't need to be here. You have so many places you can go to. Hell, I'll even go this far. I'll even bring race into it. You have so many black people that will give you that shit. I don't need to be one of them. You want a lot of controversy? Go to a lot of the other black spaces. You'll see plenty of it. I don't want to be associated with it. Again, you're not watching for a discussion. You're watching because you want an argument. You're watching because you want a sales pitch for your next podcast, you want someone to start dropping merch. You want someone to get you to sign up for a program in the future. So when someone tells you silliness like debates are how the internet makes money, no, that's just all you know because all your algorithm has ever fucking told you. And my response to that is generally in the words of eat a dick. Because unless you're the one cashing in on the check, you're an unpaid extra in someone else's viral video. Especially for those of you who are not content creators and you have no choice but to have yourself look like fucking fools online to be clipped. Only if you're not breaking any bread, if you're not getting anything from looking like an ass, you're doing nothing but wasting your time. I said what I said. I mean, come on, let's be honest for a second. These debates aren't about finding solutions. Never have been for a long time. Some people, very rarely, you'll find people who's really just about trying to come to common ground, come to a common understanding. Most places are not about understanding, it's about outrage. And again, if that's what they want, cool. But don't take that shit everywhere you go. It's about feeding the machine. And I get it. If you want to be a cog in the machine because the machine wins, or it's just it's too difficult to go up against the machine, I get it. I also understand that as well. Because the machine, if you're a growing cog, or if you've been working the machine long enough, you will see dividends. Feeding the algorithm keeps us locked in a loop, especially keeping locked in the loop of hot takes, of reaction videos, of outrage and post. But the problem is that we never see ourselves getting off the hamster wheel. Instead, all we do is scream into the void while the platform rakes in billions. And most people don't think that far. And the worst part, half of these debates aren't even debates. It's personal drama repackaged as intellectual discourse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 dudes or dudettes, if you want to put it that way, screaming at each other over systemic or systematic issues, flexing follower accounts, dropping how many subs or how important they are or how irrelevant or relevant the other person is, all the way to the end, especially getting into whole conversations that never have an ending. This is why I also say I get so sick of the never ending story. And the majority of the conversations turn into exactly that. They never actually come to a conclusion. They just start off, they get to a climax, and they never find a resolution. They never even find to a common understanding. Because the moment it gets to the resolution, it's time to just start knocking everybody else. If a person starts making a point and it sounds too good, keep hammering that person until that person leaves. Or that person gets dropped by fucking payment. No resolution at the end of the day. That ain't a debate. That's clickbait cosplay. So if you like those things, cool, go for it. But I would implore you not to go everywhere and try to make those things. I've seen liberal podcasts, political podcasts. I've seen so many, and I'm realizing there is a trend because, quite frankly, the people who find it aren't there to gain understanding. What they're there is find find an echo chamber. So if you think those debates are real conversations, it's at this point it's no different from reality TV. And if you have a problem be saying that, what's the theme, guys? Eat a dick. Real conversations happen here, online, in real life, spaces where we're not necessarily chained to an algorithm. We're not baited into cheap theatrics. That is something I actually hope that we would find, not just here, not my channel's not special, but in other spaces where, quite frankly, that would actually be something that would consider to be beneficial. Well, people can talk, whether it's here live or even behind the scenes, without there having to be madness, or it doesn't have to be about a trending hashtag topic or people running around being ambulance chasers. And that's the myth of this overnight success that people follow because they think it's all about, well, if the algorithm pushes me, is the algorithm pushing you because you are doing something great or because you just have people watching you? Because if the algorithm is all about how many people are watching you, then it doesn't matter what you really do. It just matters how many eyeballs are watching you because you're thinking that your content is special. But the truth of the matter is that you're just getting into the metrics of what any syndicated program, any viewership program will be interested in. How many eyes are watching, not necessarily what they're talking about. Everybody is out here talking about building a big channel like it's a flipping switch. It's not like flipping a switch. Those who generally have a really strong base of a community are those who've been doing it for years. It's not overnight success. People are coming out of the woodwork with all their little ebooks and their 5 steps plans and their marketing fluff. Here's how you can grow your platform fast. Here's how you can do it in 30 days. Here's how you can grow your content overnight. But here's the fucking truth. They're selling you a dream that, not for nothing, a lot of people can't even tell you that they lived. If that was so true, we wouldn't even hear so much about people buying subscribers or selling you outdated shit. They say, I can show you how to have a big channel, but if you check out their subscriber count, they're probably sitting at like 2,200 followers. Struggling to get double digits on views, by the way. You got over 1,200 fucking subs, and you're struggling to get over double digits in views. Respectfully, eat a dick. Don't sit there trying to tell other people what they should be doing. Now, if you manage to have less than 1,000 and you are getting double, triple, or even thousands of views, you're someone to be looked at because, quite frankly, you know a little something that other people have not quite grasped. That's not generally what I come across. What people who want to reach out are like. What they don't tell you, because either they don't know or they won't admit it, is that growth is slow. Growth is slow. It's brutal. And most importantly, it's about showing that you're authentic. If you're going to fake it, you do you. I don't know how long you're going to keep that shit up. If you're chasing trends like a damn ambulance chicken, cool. You might get a viral clip or two. You might get lucky. But with the way how how oversaturated the market is, especially when it comes to tracing trends, I don't think you're going to build loyalty that way. You're not going to be able to build a community that's going to be really riding for you, especially with you riding with you when the algorithm buries you. Do you know how many people have subscribers, like hundreds of thousands of subscribers or tens of thousands of subscribers, and they're demonetized? I don't think you get it. You know how many people don't really have sponsors that come knocking? What happens when the platform switches priorities? And don't even get me started on the whole overnight part. That shit is crazy. Oh, overnight success? Really? No, people on the outside who never seen you work, do all the hard work, say that you're an overnight success. No one has an overnight success. That shit is a myth. What looks like overnight has literally been years, 3, 4, 8, 10, 15 years grinding, experimenting, taking a lot of L's, adapting, evolving, while everyone else pretty much gave up or they got lazy. Or they think that they're going to be able to get viral off of having other people on their shit rather than them work on their own shit and make their shit better. Instead of them saying, I need to figure out something that's going to work for me, that's going to make my shit better. Not sitting there saying, I'm going to pull up as many people to be on my fucking platform and that's how I'm going to get big. That's not going to work for so many people. You might get a couple that might be able to pull that off. For the majority, that won't be it. It won't be it. A lot of people think they can just copy and paste someone else's shit. But if you don't have the authenticity, if you don't have the personality, if you don't have the drive, if you don't have that spark to make it your own, it won't matter what you do. You would think that someone like me just popped up yesterday. No, it's true. I haven't had a channel for so long, but I've been in these streets watching and working in the background like a lot of people. That doesn't make me a master at it, because until I do it myself, it's all theory, not practical. No, this is what I've been doing to get to this far was years of trial and error. And I'm still not successful at it. I've done a lot of sleepless nights making content when nobody was fucking watching. And you better believe I'm still not satisfied. So when you see someone online bragging about quick results, about shortcuts to success, just take the time to remember. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. And everybody is not doing it. I don't understand why we cannot respect the grind, why we cannot trust the process, and why we can't build something that's real. If you can't do that, if that's too much for you, get the fuck out the way. Because eventually imposters will be found. Because when someone is trying to pull you into a fantasy, just post. Just post more and it'll work. No, that's not the way it works. You can post all the shit that you want. If you don't have anything that really hooks and binds people, it's not gonna matter. When you hear someone says, like, just keep posting, just it doesn't matter, just you have to go every day and your shit is trash, this is your cue to tell them, eat a dick. That's your cue. And a lot of people don't get it. They really don't get it. Nothing comes easy. If you're working in any company, it's not easy. If you're working in any relationship, even though in a lot of spaces they don't want to talk about relationships because that's what you have to talk about, men and women, and that's why you have to talk about all the big downfalls and upfalls. But I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. You cannot indoctrinate me. Because when you open your mouth, I'm literally listening to everything you say and how you said it and the words you chose and why did you say it that way. Rather than you think that you're going to be preaching to people to get them in their fifis, and if they heard words that they think that are triggering for them, they'll either agree or disagree with you. I'm not playing. Life will treat you like a joke or treat you like a punchline in a joke if you want to look at yourself as a punchline. Life will treat you like a game. I don't want to play anymore. I do not want to play anymore. I don't want to hear about your get rich quick screams if I don't see you doing the work. Just same way how I'm not gonna listen to a business professor tell me about how to make money in a business that doesn't have a business themselves. Fuck off. Go that way. Not hearing from you. I would sooner, even though I never met them, I would sooner listen to Gary Vee or Mr. Beast because at least they have something out there than motherfuckers who are sitting in front of my face or who have actual contact to me, who can actually see me, go in my email, hit me up in the back chat, be on these fucking panels, and try to sell me shit. And I turn around and look at them and they don't got it. And I don't want to hear what you used to do. Used to bees don't make no honey. That's plain and simple. It's really that simple. If I don't see you continuously grinding, if I don't see you being able to actually market the skills and show that you can actually bring somebody else up because you already have proven results yourself, I'm not trying to hear from you. Because most of them are just as stuck as you are. They're just louder about it. And I want to talk about community over clout. Because this is a big thing that we have that's a problem. Depending on how you look at it, it's a problem. They say Resla complains about the people in his chat. And you know what I say? Damn right I do. Because this community matters to me. Because a lot of people come here with the idea of turning the community into something that it's not. They want it to be what they want it to be. Then I say make your own fucking shit and go to your community and fucking stay there. This ain't TV where you can just sit back and get a bag of chips and fucking just nod along. Again, this is opinionated with yours truly. If you show up, you can listen, you can actually think about what's actually being said. And if you're not ready for that, cool, go away. If you're not ready for that, I say it all the time. Go away. When you can collect yourself, when you think about it, you can come back and either rewatch that episode or you can be sure to get into the next one. But the idea if you want to come up and then you want to do something else totally different outside of what everybody else has already been invested in, eat a dick. Eat a dick. See, I watch people come here, drop their little one-liners, try to derail the vibe, try to put up snarky comments or troll other people that have nothing to do with anything that was going on. Other people are trying to be in good faith and someone else comes in and have nothing to do about anything that was going on. People who are passive aggressive, and of course the lazy attempts to get reactions. But here's the thing, and that is the thing that a lot of people don't have a problem with. You don't run the show. Start your fucking own live. You don't run the show. You're just noise. And noise can be muted. whenever the fuck we see fit. Whether I do it or whether the chat says, the community says, we don't like it. And at that point, you know what to do. But most of y'all don't get the fucking hint. This is for those people. This is spaces for those who actually value conversations over the empty noise. And we're here for the ones that actually want to think, who actually want to get into critical thought and actually exercise that muscle, not about trends. Not to talk about the same old shit that they can get everywhere else. Go to your favorite homeless shelters for that. I ain't running one. I would like to push past comfort zones, not just incite outrage. I'm here to confront bullshit narratives that we've been hearing since pretty much fucking birth. And if that's too much, you're probably in the wrong place. Let's be clear, this isn't the place where you want to pander to your audience growth. You want to beg them for followership. You want to do nothing but just scream at people back and forth and just call them all fucking names like we're all in the fucking elementary school. I am not too worried about chasing numbers because literally everybody who has come to me has come to me as something I've been doing organic. This is just some same reason you don't see me running around collabing with a whole bunch of people and then willing to say or do anything to be on someone else's show just to draw forth numbers. Because why? That's not going to help this community. To me, for me, it's about quality, not quantity, quality. The problem that we have in our system is this whole, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It needs work. Y'all just not looking at it. I will follow the Japanese philosophy that says, if it ain't perfect, keep working on it. That's just me. It's about building something authentic, something that isn't watered down by the algorithm's approval. I'm not kissing up to anyone. I'm not kissing up to what other people want. I think if anything, we should tone it down. For the sake that if we ever want something in the future, we cannot be looking like everybody else because then they won't know who to pick from. Because why we look like everybody else? You're not special. You look like everybody else. And we definitely don't want to hold back just because someone's feelings might get hurt. There's a way that we can do that without, quite frankly, looking like all the other people. And all I just say is if you're here to grow with the channel, not with me, but just grow with the channel itself with other people who are like-minded, learn, unlearn, question everything, you're welcome. Because I learn from you the same way you learn from me, but there are people that's not here to learn. They're here to outrage. If you're here to lurk, troll, play dumb, eat a dick. There are places for that. There's always a time and place for it. If you manage to find someone that just wants to be disingenuous and you want to come that way, I say, go ahead. Go at it with them. But at the point where it just becomes damaging for the community will deal with you. You could take a minute for that one. Sit down for a fucking minute for that one. And remember, I know plenty of y'all sit here in the US and you say freedom of speech and that. YouTube doesn't promote democracy. It doesn't promote freedom of speech. You don't get a vote in a direction that we're taking. We're moving in a particular direction. That's it. You don't come through and think that you can steer it somewhere else. This community is built on authenticity, not clout chasing. You either respect that or you don't. But either way, we decide. That's it. I know a lot of y'all trying to figure out what ways you want to be able to screw it up for other people, but then I would just say start your own shit. Because the best, Frank Sinatra said it, the best revenge is massive success. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of you guys are not even close to getting on the path. You haven't even done the beginning steps yet. But you think that you want to be able to tell somebody else how to get there. You're not even on the dirt road. Never mind try to tell people how to get to the yellow brick road. But let's see how this goes. Let's see how long. It ain't gonna take long before someone try to fuck it up, and we gonna run by the same standards we've been running through so far. Link is in the chat. Pin to the top of the chat. We don't fuck around and find out edition. Until then, I also want to thank Crazy Mama. Said I'm special. Okay. All right. The problem is that we think everybody here is special. Mm-hmm. You quiet, sir.
Oh, I'm outraged. I'm fucking out.
Yeah, he outraged. He outraged, folks. I'll say you were saying something.
I said I'm outraged.
Oh, okay, cool. That's right. You can eat a dick.
Well, if it's going to be your dick, I don't have to worry about gagging now, do I?
Well, you would absolutely gag because you don't know what it's like to be that deep.
Oh, got it. Understand. So what's the deal? Who's been if I may ask, who been giving advice lately?
There are definitely people who've given advice. I have gotten advice from a lot of people.
Like in the last week or two?
I would say in the last month for sure.
Okay. I missed a good portion of it. Damn.
Yeah.
So it's this thing again. Because the advice thing that was a thing. God, 4 or 5 months ago.
It keeps coming up.
Hey, I get it. I know what you mean. It's other people trying to like every time you have somebody on panel, and there are people that don't have any subs, any followers. They're like, just be yourself and just keep putting out content. Like I just dismiss them. I literally don't even entertain what they're saying.
For me, it's the audacity. To me, you know what and it comes down to the saying that they say: those who don't do teach.
Facts.
This is gonna be quick. If they ever get their internet shit together.
Here we go.
No, until they get their connection together, because they just got a huge 24-hour timeout.
Yeah, I just want to point out, when I was in Commeyville, my internet service was better than in New York. I just want to point that out.
Oh, my internet's good, so maybe you should stop being in the rural area where satellites can't touch you.
You know what?
Anyway,
fuck yeah, city boys. Like I'm so fucking tired of city boys, right? Let me get my.
But you know what? You can talk about the city boys you want. You know what? We have plenty of cell towers. What about you?
We got a cell tower real close. It's just on the other side of the fucking mountain.
Did you say
and apparently a landmass
tower?
is a
Did you say a as in singular? Cell tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need three.
As in you can't have a triangulation. you have one.
The other two are so fucking far away. That's
yes. I don't have to worry about that. I don't worry about that. I can be underground and still get service. I don't know about you.
What? Oh, that's right. Yeah, you rats live in tunnels. I keep forgetting about that shit.
And guess what? I'm in connection all the time. I don't have to walk. I don't have to walk to my favorite tree to try to get something.
I'm outraged at city people. I am now outraged at city people. I think everybody that lives.
I
in
don't have to
Metro
go over to
City-
my favorite tree and say it worked last time.
I used to have a basket where I would put the portable Wi-Fi thing and do it like a telephone. I mean, like a flagpole. Raise the basket up. I'd have to try and keep it plugged in. It was
Yeah, that he just gave you an idea, Josh. He just gave you one.
I got no idea. I ain't about building nothing around here.
If you pull the back door by halfway, maybe your Bluetooth will connect too.
See, I put in a concrete slab, and like a fucking asshole, goddamn code enforcement came by not even 3 days after I got that slab down, right? Snitching motherfuckers. If I figure
always,
ooh, I want blood. So now
Yeah.
I'm outraged that I don't think it's the neighbor, right? I just can't figure out who it was. I think it's a county motherfucker because they come out and inspect the road like every week. So I think it's
the whole world, bro. You can't build a fence without them coming up to zone you and everything else. Like there's everything's under surveillance. You can't build shit secretly.
My luck, if I build like a fucking tower or something to like pick up a better signal, right? Like they'll probably tax me for that shit too. So now my little pussy ass kind of a little scared right now. The local municipality, right? Like, they're really pissing in my chili.
Well, here in Texas, there's a cool thing to where anything above 10 feet is public airspace. And we had homeless people. We had homeless people that went and took this. It was like a park that had overgrown, and they built tree houses all through the park that connected through.
That's gotta be more than 10 feet.
Yeah, it was. So the cops could come in, and the cops could only mess with them if they caught them on the ground. So like if they were, because they would pull their entrance up with them and stuff, like their ladder. And if they're up in the air,
smart to me.
It was brilliant, bro. It was brilliant, and it was badass. Like
it sounds good to me.
It looked like
that's
or something.
That's what they claimed that he did in the dinosaur age. You know, if you believe in evolution.
Yo, I don't, but I think we've always been this smart.
On topics of disagreements, I think I've noticed that it seems like most of us really have problems with descriptions. Like that's why, generally speaking, we have like the conflicts, right? A person can describe a thing in a way that you would both disagree with it in one descriptor and then agree with it in another descriptor. It seems like we seem to miss, like within the conversation, it seems like we kind of miss the descriptor, or we have a problem with the descriptor, or we fail to understand it.
I'm not sure it's that. I think the first part is that there are people who even hear things and they come to a point, if they're cognizant enough, they will come to understand that somebody sees something different. That's not the issue. It's the acceptance part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because your mind is already made up before you hear the description.
It's like, here's my description. Here's your description. I can say, I understand your description, but I don't accept it. So therefore, we're at war.
Here, let me give an example. So like I'm a pretty nasty corporatist, like on the evil side, right? But I associate with people that tend to kind of like lean hardcore socialist. Socialism can be described in a way that you would generally agree with. It's just based on priorities.
I bet you it depends on who describes it. Because if you listen to somebody that you find favorable describe it, it's going to be a lot more palatable.
That actually might be the case.
Hey, I hold up. Let me point this out real quick to make sure that people understand something that just needs to get pointed out. Because again, as many people, I said this for the last time. I said this also in my previous quarter. I said it in this quarter. We're not going to be suffering some of the bullshit, right? And even my last stream. What was my last stream? What was my last stream? My last stream indicated to people that if you are easily emotional, you're easily manipulated.
Why you hurt my feelings, Resla? You asshole.
Being easily offended, you are easily manipulated. Now, John kept fucking around, and John had to find out. He had to find out.
Wait, which
Then
John?
John thought he can come up with his crappy internet in the back panel, and it didn't work out. So John also dropped off. Yeah, I'm stating that issue. Yes, absolutely. Don't feel. If you feel weird.
Which John?
John Cassell. He didn't even bother. He didn't even bother to literally write on the fucking actual stream that we're on right now to write in the comment section. He literally went to like one of my Monster Hunter streams to write the fucking shit. But either way, I did get it. So let's look to see what John actually said. Here's what he says. By the way, what's that say? Block me or time me out. I don't care. You don't even remember me defending you over and over when you blocked out and say shit on other people's channels. Let me know who other people's channels say. Because the first thing I say is you need to provide proof. I don't run on accusation. I do confront narratives and talking points.
Wait,
and then he says, sober up, dude. I'm actually a supporter.
Are you
You're
denying
ridiculous
being
when
drunk?
you're drunk.
Are
Now,
you denying being drunk?
I'm not drunk.
No, I mean, are you denying?
Just because you state several times you're drunk, doesn't make it so. If I said you are gay, I guess you're gay.
Why? That's
I
what
guess
we do
you're
to Bricky
gay.
all the time. What are we talking about?
If I just keep calling you gay, I guess you're gay, right, John? You must be gay because I'm gonna keep calling you gay.
Brick would be gay if that was the case for sure, because a ton of people call Brick gay.
So you saying a thing doesn't make it so. There's been very few times I've ever been that lit. I know you would love to see me lit. This is the reason why people would love to have me have a stream while I'm drinking, and I would say no, I wouldn't bother doing so. I know people would love that, but wait. As I said earlier, we're gonna have the people that are gonna come up. They're gonna troll. They're gonna be in an emotional state. They're gonna do whatever. So go ahead. You know what? Wait, we're gonna do it better. Hold up, guys. Go ahead. State your piece. State your piece. Come on, John. Oh no. Oh, that backwater internet. Okay, I got you. Anyway,
He burned off.
can't say I didn't try. It's twice now. It's twice. Hey, you know, hey, Josh. He would be able to be up here with no problem if he lived in the city like me.
Motherfuckers, right? Like these cheap shot bastards, right?
Hey, but dude, I like what you did right there, man, because, and I'll say this, you have some of the best panels, but your trolls are some of the worst. And I'm a troll assassin, bro. I've been assassinating trolls for years now.
Here's the sad part, though. My trolls are not even really my trolls. My trolls are other people's trolls who just want my space to be like the people that they come from.
That's why they're so bad, bro. Because
they're not my trolls. Because if they were really my trolls, they would have an infinite amount of shit that they can use against me. They don't.
They make it insufferable when they're here. Like Bricky, bro. I cannot even. The sound of his voice makes me want to just go to bed.
Like, he is just a troll in general. He has nothing on me.
Yeah, but they just come mess up your show, dude. Is what I'm saying.
Part of the thing that I say is that people want to be characters. They don't know where they're at, and they think that wherever they go, the rules apply.
Yeah.
And then they get mad because for so long I've given people so much grace. I do three things: care, mercy, and grace. Now that I started pulling away grace, people,
wait, where's my fucking reparations? When did I get care?
No, for so long you got grace.
No, he works for the government too.
You never got care.
See, I hate getting denied around here. Fucking assholes everywhere. God.
So when I started pulling away, didn't you see them? You read it. I was defending you. But I mean, I've had plenty of people who came in here, knew me, didn't know me, and defended me. You know what they never did? Sit there and turn around and just try to sit there and say, here's my thing. Josh, you and I are cool. You know what I don't do?
We
I don't
were
go
up until
everywhere.
you moved to the city, you bastard.
Here's what I don't do. I don't go to every space that I have and talk shit about you.
Oh, I do. I go to every space.
Well, again, this is why I'm better than you.
Gotta agree with that.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck the ATF. I want to go to the IRS. I'm coming after your ass.
Someone say ATF. I gotta go.
I don't think hatchets are regulated under the ATF clauses, so I'm gonna have to go after his YouTube millions. That's what I got to go after.
Yeah, my millions, right? Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
Hey, but dude burned off like a chump, dude. Usually when a troll is or anybody's lashing out like that and leaving you messages like that, they want some attention, and you gave him the attention, and he burned off.
No, if I was giving them attention, I would have kept pulling up and arguing with their points in the chat. I saw them writing, and I just said, cool. I didn't even put them on screen. I didn't address it. I just blocked them out. I didn't go back and forth with them. I didn't acknowledge them.
No, I'm talking about right now when you brought him up.
But he came on panel. But he came on panel. This was his opportunity.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the chat, whether you're in the chat or whether you're on a panel, when you continuously are putting something out, you're building a narrative.
Yeah, or you're trying to get attention. If you don't have a coherent narrative, you're just trying to get somebody.
He's literally making the point that I just finished talking about for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Well, I agree with everything you said, bro. And I don't troll like every day. I troll specific people over long periods of time and stuff, but I put it all on my channel. Like, so I won't even suffer this shit at all. Like in my channel, you come to my channel acting stupid, you just get
not for nothing. It's one thing if you just get bounced with nobody know anything. By the way, thank you. By the way, Brick, thank you for the super sticker.
Yeah, bro.
But there's one thing if you get bounced without a warning, because that literally says something to you. If you claim that you're someone who's been here and you've been supporting one thing, and I have to bounce you. Here's the thing I have to say. This is why I laugh with even when Crazy Mama says, I'm special. I'm going to run a Nas lyric. You wet who I want wetted. I wet who you want wetted. Anybody can get it.
And she's special ed is what she means. Special education.
Just because you've been around, if you are detrimental, I clip family off. What makes
yeah. I used to say I'll cut my arm off if it done me wrong enough.
John, I guess not.
Come on, bro. Fix your shit, dog. That's fucking.
You want to borrow my internet? It's working okay. Like
at least it's better.
I do want to say this though. Shout out to people that generally have like some type of beef. I don't know if I'm calling it right, but like if you've got an issue, come on, like come up. Let's talk about it. Like that's kind of the thing that we do is to try to actually.
Could you tell me what your beef is outside of the fact that I just can't do what I do everywhere else? What's your beef?
Yeah, it kind of depends on
my beef with you, sir. Is your opposition to raccoons?
Did he run away?
What?
He said that.
Did that shitty internet kick in?
Oh, shit.
Who's paying the narrative now, bastard? I do genuinely, if you're in this community and you've got a problem, please pop up and let's discuss it, right? Because at the end of the day, like I kind of want to understand. Look, me and Brick are like on opposing ends of everything. Socially, business-wise, like almost like 99% of the time we're on.
About 10% you're understanding.
Yeah, there's about 10% there. Yeah,
I'll give you like in the understanding from my side completely. Like I know he doesn't like the term Christian, right? And I don't throw that label on him, right? But I don't actually understand what his like what he believes. Like even I can't lay claim. There's lots of things I don't understand. But when we do have an issue, right, we kind of we fumble around like virgins in the dark, right? But at some point we will eventually figure it out. And that's really what it
be a
boils
hell
down
of a
to.
fight.
Bad terminology, but I get it.
I would pay to see y'all fight or fuck.
Like a virgin for the very first time.
I definitely would be pitching for sure. Yeah, no, it really kind of depends to me on what the beef is as to whether I feel like it should be brought to a panel. Some things are actually better handled behind the scenes.
We say that, bro, but nobody practices that. Like, let's just fight about it. Like, if you got something to say, let's just fight about it. That's my philosophy. Like,
you got muted.
I said, well, if you're asking me, that's the part where it really becomes an issue. Like, because the idea is that when you're saying, let's fight about it, that means there just needs to be a winner. There's no understanding. It's no different from saying, let's just slug it out in the parking lot.
No, I don't.
All you know is that somebody lost or not. Like, you didn't actually settle shit.
I don't even care about none of that. I am only thinking about the fact that I don't like shit being in my way, and I'm not gonna I don't let nothing eat at me. I don't let nothing pull me back. I don't let nothing be a hurdle. Like, if you have an issue with me, then let's address that shit and get it out of the way. Like, I don't care about who wins the fight or not or whatever. That don't even register in my head. I just want to get that shit out the way already. I hate that.
Yeah, and that's fair too. But again, if it's a personal beef that has never been brought to public, it really should stay behind scenes. And I feel like that's something that does happen a lot. People do bring their personal beef onto a public conversation, which once it goes public, then it's then everything's loose. So
yeah, and dude, this is the way I approach all these panels. Is
that's funny. That's funny. I've been told this before.
Yeah, well, I have to agree with that. What do you call it? But I don't know what you are being genuine about. Like being emotionally outraged is not just a sign of weakness. It's a manipulation tactic. Like I can pretend like as if I'm emotionally outraged, and you might think I'm being weak, but somebody else might think you're victimizing me. So you can shift up optics and shit like that. So I don't ever even concern myself with anybody else's state of mind. Like I really just kind of try to stay on topic of what we're talking about,
Oh, got some sound there.
Sound this time.
What's up, Mr. Castle?
No sound now. Try again.
Can't say I'm not trying. Hey, I don't want to hear you guys say, "Oh, look, he dropping them." I ain't dropping them. You got three other guys up here. I ain't dropping them.
He's gonna do that all night. He's gonna continue to do that just to disrupt. Watch.
Look, I came up and the wrestler kept dropping me. No. Didn't happen. I was being stifled. I couldn't say shit. Oppression. Well, for one, there's no free speech, but also didn't drop you. Just saying.
Shout out to the Obama internet. Thank you.
Salute to Obama.
Comes with the phone.
Came with the phone.
Yeah, it does come with a phone. I haven't seen one yet. I'm curious.
Because you're not in New York.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen one ever. I'd like to.
They just look like the oldest smartphones there are, basically.
Damn. So like
they're updating though.
So like my mom's like fucking
now. They're touchscreen now.
Yeah, they're touchscreen.
You know where they make them?
No fucking clue.
The Philippines.
Damn, I was kind of hoping like a federal prison, like they had a
nah, they wouldn't do
not paying nobody.
Pure,
it's not going to be American made.
Their whole service is right there, somewhere in those islands. It's in the Philippines. It's legit.
They make pretty damn good ghost guns there too. And by ghost guns, it's just basically a weapon that doesn't have a serial number. It's made out of metal. Pretty decent quality.
Ruck says I just got here. Why are we roasting panel? I don't know. Roasting panel. I don't know.
Roast us. Shit.
I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what's up with people. People are people.
Because we don't like bitches.
People are bitches. Real talk. Like everybody, including myself. Like if I'm in a bitchy mood, I'm gonna take everything in that way. And but some of us are. This is what I enjoy is because I can always get past something with somebody if we talk. That's why I say let's fight about it. Because even if we fight about it, even if we argue about it, I can get past something if we talk about it. But if you just let that shit fester within you, it really don't do you no good.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting back when I was young, like 25 and younger.
For real? With who?
Like I grew up with brothers and cousins and lived in the woods and yeah.
Who we fighting with in the woods?
You'd be surprised who you meet out in the woods.
Fucking
big old country boys out there now.
Have you ever seen?
Better make it.
Have you ever seen the film Deliverance? Do you really have to ask that question?
Right. Some bigger boys than that too. But yeah, so I mean, like after all of that, I reached a point in my life where it was just like it gets so tiring. It's not even like the aggression, getting the aggression out anymore. That's like secondary. At this point, it's like it's just tiring.
How old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, I'm 37 because that's my highest vibration. Like that's where I'm at when I'm at my highest vibration. But my resting tone is on go. Like I'm figuring maybe in the next few years that might go away, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean,
wait. Can I ask a question? If Temp is going through something right now, why do you guys feel like he needs to unburden himself?
I invite.
Why don't you give him respect his space? Let him process. Well, I don't get it. Like, what are we doing here?
I invited Temp up.
You're not the only one. He's grieving right now.
Well, okay, so like I guess apparently today we had something. I don't know what the hell it was, right? But we had a genuine disagreement.
Yeah, that's he said he doesn't want to come up because that's not something he wants to talk about. He has something else on his mind.
Oh, I didn't see that part then. I apologize.
That's good, Joe Cool.
What's up, Joe Cool? Sure.
Good day, Joe.
God damn, now wait.
That's good, guys.
What's up?
Hey, you were the first one to help me get a W over Resla, so salute to you.
I don't remember, but you're welcome.
What? Get a what?
Right.
A W when we're arguing about something.
You've gotten no W's over me.
The wrestler don't remember either. Huh?
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you've got no W's over me.
I just got one the other day when you brought up old shit.
Sir, you got no W's, and the only one who was holding your hand the entire time was Kev. Don't hold up somebody else's shit and call it your win.
Kev was here.
And if it took the both of you, that's not much of a W, sir.
It was for
Time
me.
and place. Time and place. Well, if you want to take anything, I mean, that's what's wrong with a lot of guys. They'll take anything.
No, I'm not afraid to leave what's not for me on the table and walk away from it. So if I don't find no benefit out of talking about something, I don't mind the way you look at it. But I know where I win. I know where I get a W.
If it makes you feel better, sure, sweetheart, sure.
Thank you. Are you drinking? Take it. Cheers with me.
According, if John ever comes up, he can explain how I'm drunk. But
well, that's what they'll do, dude. Is if they find out you do anything, especially if you mean
if they find out that you're human?
Yeah, exactly.
which is something I say so often here. If you're not even a person who's a content creator, if you're not even a person who's come up to be an influencer, you're not someone who does anything, who the fuck you like? Why not just say you watch AI if no one else is gonna be able to just be people? Just watch AI. Go watch AI porn. Go do just what the fuck are we doing here?
If you're gonna criticize everybody, is that
Yeah,
what
if you're gonna
saying?
criticize everybody, everything, and you can never change, go watch AI porn. Go watch anime, go watch AI porn and say it never changes, it's all canon. People aren't canon.
That's what we're gonna end up at. It's sad to say, man. Like just by accident, with everybody being so outraged about everything, people are gonna start avoiding the organic and focusing on that artificial shit.
You hit on something without outrage, man. That stops us from communicating. That might be one of the most dangerous issues we got watching too much of that.
I guess this is the only way we're gonna get here. So Ruck got the $5. He's buying blinds with W. He's buying it. Apparently that's the only
he bought the W.
Buying the W.
I got it. Thank you, Ruck. Salute to you, bro. Y'all hit that cash app.
You'll take a half, he can get it, man.
Give me some more W. Yeah, I'll take anyone I can get.
But that outrage, right? It stops us from communicating. It kills any form of communicating. As soon as someone has to answer for something, let's just say something simple like his words. He made a statement. You narrow him down to be like, well, your logic probably doesn't hold here. He's going to do some outrage. And you're just up here to paint a narrative. And it kills all communication.
It's deflection.
It's deflection. Yes, it is. And it kills everything. Of course, it's fear-based. Of course, it's purposeful.
I mean, but sometimes it's accidental, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes perhaps most of these motherfuckers, that is their thing. When they get cornered, they explode. They do the shit every time. So it's not a fear reaction every time. It's now becoming calculated.
You're right. I agree with all that.
Good call out. Yeah, you're right about that one. You're absolutely right.
Tell about it.
It's to where you get to where you don't even want to engage with certain people because you're just gonna get that 0 to 100 and shit.
Well, I think part of the issue that we have, even across the people who claim that they are the debaters, they have a problem answering questions. Like you understand how a question goes, it requires an answer, not another question.
Yeah, that debating little stuff is,
or moving the subject to something else, and the question never got answered.
That's the problem with it, Resla, is that the way it's set up, as we know it, at least in this community, it is not about a quest for the truth. It is about a W. And if you got to sway the crowd, right, to do some oration tactics, whatever it is to win, use their emotions, insult the guy, all that to get a W. It waters it down. It makes it I
agree. It's like they've all gone to the same seminar. First, establish a premise. Second, move the other person off their square. Third, make them look like they're looking crazy so you can turn around and say you're a W.
There's a handbook.
Bro, that's the way it happened. Like, I barely am realizing it as you're saying this, but I came to the debate area like, hell yeah, I'm not. Because in a real debate, like, I'll lay some shit down. And then I never realized till right now, it's all optics. It's all about, like, how they look at you at the end of it. Because I would just get kicked off the panels because people hated me and shit. Like...
Here you go. You make a whole solid point. You make a good solid point that they have to really think about. Fuck you talk about, blind? You like one of these motherfuckers on Happy. You like somebody who's on the Happy Feet movie. You be like, what the fuck does that have to do with
what they got to do with anything we was talking about?
That's exactly the way it would go, and I would be like, "Damn, man! Like, I should have never done that Happy Feet movie, bro."
They think it's a fucking win if they can draw you off your topic and pull you away from the logic line that you were pursuing. It's a win to them. It's all fear-based to me. When you feel weak, you start tap dancing and fucking putting on the clown makeup. It's all fear-based, bro.
Damn, that's fast.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little neglected here.
What?
it seems like if it is the case to like basically convince the other person to crash out, right? Like, wouldn't I be the perfect person to crash out? Just
No,
go
you
No,
just
no,
want
and mow people
attention. No,
down.
Josh, you just want attention. No one's even. I'm not listening to that bullshit. You just
yeah,
want attention.
it's
It
more
could,
than
if
that.
the idea, if the ideal. So here's the thing: not only do you get nothing out of it outside of just hearing someone yell, and if that's just your thing, I mean, you can just go home to your wife. Anyway, so
Well,
if the
fuck yeah.
ideal if the idea is just to hear someone yell to quote crash out, and no one really understands what's being said anyway, because all they just hear is somebody being incoherent and screaming.
Yeah, but
What's the point?
the internet crash out thing, right? Like, fuck, what the hell is that? It's just some fake ass bullshit. Somebody's, I'm pissy, right? I want
Yeah,
people to really crash out.
No, but some
because
people
why
I
you
literally
want?
heard people just simply disagree and they call it a crash out. So you'll call
Yeah.
like you anyone, and again, before crash out, we have our favorite words, again, narratives and talking points. Anyone who just disagrees, you're crashing out. Anyone who disagrees, you're spurging. Anyone
Yeah.
disagrees, it's like eat a dick.
Has anybody seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you know the
And,
little show.
and I swear this is like the 8th or 9th time I heard it this month.
It comes up all the time on
Yeah,
all the
so
time.
you
panels
remember the
on it.
little show that they had in there called "Ow My Balls"? That's the crash out.
So it's funny, you said ow my balls, but I was even talking about people and I just said, where's my pants for the Lego movie?
I've not seen it, but something's clicking there. Yeah,
Something.
yeah, something's clicking because it's the crash out. It's it's that adrenaline rush to laugh at somebody because they crashed, which, in my humble opinion, is not a win.
It's not.
I mean, it can be depending on who the person is. For
It's
me,
the adrenaline
It's
rush.
It's not a win. Again, how is it a win? Is that at the very end, no one got a resolution. Nobody won.
Bingo.
It's a win to the people that want to put discomfort in a specific person's life.
What was the whole point? But what was the point? To have a conversation or a debate about a particular thing to come down to a resolution?
No, that's your point.
No. Then what was the point of even engaging?
No, to these people that want to put discomfort in your life, the point is to make you uncomfortable.
Then the stream should be about let's make each other uncomfortable.
No,
It
you're
shouldn't have
right
a
though.
topic.
You're right. You're saying you're right when it's your stream, but that I'm just saying like
I think Resla is saying, I'm sorry.
Most people's streams actually have a topic or something that they're
but
talking
you
about.
notice the people who do this don't even do streams. Like
You've made another point that this is why I said people who come up who tell you how you can do things or what you can do things or how smart they are, or people who even come in and say, "Do you even know what the topic about?" No, I just hit the fucking link. These are the people you watch out for.
Yeah. Well, if you're a regular,
It doesn't matter where I go. If I come in midway in the stream, I at least sit down for 5 to 10 minutes to try to figure out what the fuck, or I have to go back and hit 2.5 or whatever to catch up or whatever. I'm just gonna come in and I think I'm so fucking special. I'm fucking so brilliant that I can come in wherever I want to. And like fucking Sherlock Holmes, I'm gonna decipher everybody. Elementary, I got all you motherfuckers right now.
Guilty. I'm guilty.
Like, I don't do that shit. I don't do it.
I'm trying to listen, man. But if it's someone like you or someone I feel super comfortable with, I just hop up here and try to be quiet for the first few minutes and catch up with the conversation.
Yeah, if it's a place that at least the people and like what they usually talk about, then that's one thing. But going to a brand new place, people try to do that shit at my channel. I'm like, get out of here.
Well, I do it for several reasons. Number one, I just need to know what the conversation was. Number two, I don't want to say something that somebody else already said.
People don't care about that. They just want to talk.
Well,
no,
again,
but it's still smart though.
Yeah, I don't want to. People don't need to hear. If we want to say that, and this is why I say, unless you only care about the conversation that you're having with the person that you're having a problem with, and you're not thinking, and you're not being cognizant of your audience, how other people are reviewing you, because you know what people will turn around and say, I don't want to hear fucking blind talk because he just says the same shit, or I think he's an idiot. But if they never see you in a new light because you haven't found a way to persuade the audience to your side, you just come off as someone who just is contentious.
You're right.
It's important. Imagine if you had TED Talk speakers and all they did was talk to just the front row and didn't pay attention to nobody else. What would people think? I don't want to listen to this motherfucker. Why do you keep getting TED Talks?
Yeah.
You have to be relatable with everyone around you. And that means knowing your audience.
I keep a limit to that.
Yeah, but most people don't know their audience because most people, especially to come on the panel, they're not thinking about the audience. They're only thinking about the person that they're talking to. Not all of a sudden it's a one room with that one person, and everybody else is like,
well, both can be beneficial to me in my channel, in my opinion. Like,
sure.
I will do the zoning in on just one conversation but my audience actually enjoys that. Like when me and you have conversations, they prefer for me.
Very important. You said something very important.
Audience.
Thank you, Joe. My audience, but we're not just always in your audience.
Well, I'm just telling you I mean, you're right.
No, but what I'm saying is that when no matter where I go, I'm trying to have some form of consistency so that even if I meet new people, they're like, I like the way how Joe talks. Where else did he go so I can go meet him?
Yeah.
Rather than, again, for a long time, this is what happened. A long time because Rick next to me, a lot of people shitted on Brick for a long time. I don't hear anything you have to say because they made up all the reason in the world, but they never really got to hear anything different from him until they actually had an opportunity to actually hear different points of views from different people. A lot of people just like to they want to say that you're this, and this is all I will see you as, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then after a while, with different exposures, like, oh, this motherfucker actually says different shit and knows different shit and actually made a point. Usually I don't even agree with Brick. I don't even want to agree with him. I don't like him, but he made a point. That makes me feel shitty. I'm a shitty person because I agreed with him.
Right. That's why
happens.
They're not happy, right, with that because they expect Brick or insert person A here to be a certain way. They're gonna make them. If I see Brick as the one who's always yelling and can't be on his square, I'm that troublemaker in chat that immediately hops up here. I see Brick. I'm gonna try and push his buttons and make him yell over me. Now I feel like it's a W. What kind of weird shit is that?
Weird shit.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It would be no difference if I had a racist come onto my panel and says, I'm gonna do everything I can to get Resla mad, and I know what I know he's gonna do. He's gonna get I'm gonna get him so triggered. He's gonna be spurred so hard. I know he's about to spark up a blunt, and it never happened. He's like, I don't get it. You know why? You're not black. I'm like, oh, that was the reason why. For an hour you've been trying, and
yes, I get that. This being black motherfuckers follow me to panels and want me to trigger me so bad they'll hop up and do the hard ER. You're gonna let your white daddy tell you what that shit don't affect me, man. Not at all.
What's good, Ruck?
What's up, Ruck?
I ain't tried that one. I got some.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead, Joshua.
No, you're good. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Ruck. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
go
I
ahead.
was going to say, I just wanted to pipe in on what Resla and what Blind were just saying about people will judge you by how you say what you say as much, if not more so, than what you are saying sometimes.
That's fair in ways.
And Blind, I saw you go through that. I was guilty of doing that to you until I actually sat down, listened to you. We had a couple conversations, and now I understand, just because somebody talks different doesn't mean the point is wrong. Hear what they're saying more than how they're saying it is very important to me.
And what Resla just said,
You can't hear you, Resla.
How they're saying it,
I was
how
thinking
they're
to
saying
myself.
it will also dictate why they're saying it.
but
So
I
you
don't
gotta be careful with
I don't
that
think
as well.
about that. I found when I let myself think about that I become inauthentic. So it's become my best just in my own life. I don't apply that. I don't think that the way Resla
I
does.
would agree with you, Blind. I think most people don't think about it, but because I have been in so many conversations, I've been around people who are wordsmiths. They study words. Words have power, which means if of all the words that you can have, like symmetry, when we think of the way how we cast spells, how we put people to be able to build off of different phrases and acronyms and spellings and grammar. It's called a spelling bee for a reason. Casting. There's a reason why we have specific words that we don't want people to use because it's called cursing. Words.
When you're talking about is beyond words.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
he's a great example right now. People tend to believe that you're smarter because you use higher words. Not that doesn't mean that you're actually fucking brilliant at all.
Use bigger words.
But the perception. That's influence.
Okay, but look, let me just listen
because you don't like with you, Resla. That's yes and.
No. Yes, okay, yeah. I'll say what Rex said because yes and I agree with that. But what you're talking about is beyond words because to say. You can say something, it's how you say it. That means that the words are standing there alone. That it's the style around them that affects what people think about it. So
I do it both hands. When I have these conversations with people, I do it both hands because the same way how I talk to the quote educated intellectual person and how they want to be very boisterous. They want to have a higher caliber of vernacular rather. And I say, what is that? What does all of that mean if you cannot speak to the common people?
Right.
If the majority of people speak common, what does that mean? But at the same time, I pay attention to not because people can choose so many different words to mean the same thing. Why did you choose that specific word? There's a meaning behind it.
They think they're on a stage most of the time. It's a show off and look how smart I am or how dumb you are. It's always about ego.
But that has to be analyzed to pick up.
That.
Right.
Sometimes people are fended off by that spotlight. Like myself, like I don't like to be in a position to where I feel like I'm being spotlighted. But at the same time, I know that what I'm saying hasn't been said or isn't going to be said in this conversation. You know what I mean? So
I understand you got to balance the importance of getting your message out against the uncomfortability of being the center of attention. I hear you.
I mean, and going along with that, one of the things is like, yeah, some people try to use the bigger words or the more convoluted sentences to try to impress. Some people actually make the effort to try to find the word that everybody in the audience is going to understand.
Agreed.
Try to find the sentence and the way to present it that everybody there is going to comprehend.
Agreed.
Right.
And to Resla's point about talking to both ends, somebody that has an extensive vocabulary because they have cultivated it to communicate best is going to communicate with both ends best. The highest.
I'm with Resla. I'm shaking my head too.
I gotta disagree with that.
If their intention is true, because I've never wanted. I don't understand the way you say.
We were gonna get the Resla forehead swipe with that.
I know.
But who goes into learning something saying, I want to learn this so that people can see me as this?
That's smart and bigger than them.
Stockbrokers have done it. Professional debaters have done it. People who have been in country clubs have done it. First, there was this movie. I can't remember. It's so old now. But I can't remember the actor and everything. But the idea is that they were homeless. Him and his daughter was homeless. He teaches his daughter how to spell all the high-end words, but the chick couldn't spell cat. There was a reason for that.
That makes no sense to me.
No, because if she spoke to other people, look how smart my daughter is. She can spell, she's only 5 or 7 or whatever, but she can spell this and she can spell
catastrophe,
that. Why? The perception of intelligence. It's a grift.
It makes no sense at all, though, because the moment that's tested, the instant that's tested,
the moment. Most people don't test what they think is already above them. What again? When people have I just said it earlier for Brick. When people paint you in a box,
I mean, yeah, you're right.
they don't
about
test you
that.
any other way because they already wrote the story for you.
Yeah, that's stupid to me. If you allow
The
yourself
idea
to
of
be
them
led,
changing their mind is slim until they are literally put in a corner where it's irrefutable.
And if they are
I
the
agree
ones
with that. I
who've
just
made the
think
big
it's
words and spent their life learning all these big words and how to fool motherfuckers, they won't be put in that corner easily.
yeah,
They'll avoid
that's
it. They'll
common
learn how to
sense.
change the subject. They'll call you names.
Agreed.
They'll have 8 different ways to avoid that corner. The last one will be to crash out and act crazy and, and play the victim or something.
Do you know what's
Yeah.
one of the best defenses that they have?
Mm.
People who are in those particular positions, they don't have to say anything. Other people who already wrote narratives for
Yeah.
them will defend them.
Yes,
I mean,
or
I
who
don't
they've
know
helped
where y'all
write the
meet these
narrative
people,
for those
though.
other
Like,
people.
Correct.
And they
I don't
followed
know.
their
I don't-
beliefs.
Exactly. That's actually detrimental too for them because that
Yeah.
actually enables them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Correct.
know where these people
Yes,
makes
exist.
it
at.
worse.
Echo chamber, they'll
But you said
end
what?
up
They're
believing their own
everywhere.
bullshit.
They are everywhere to this day.
Well, maybe
Everywhere.
I mean, I hear that, but I don't get to engage with them very often
They're
because
just
I find it effortless to see through that bullshit. Like
blind. Any motherfucker
bro,
up
I have
here,
a channel.
every
So, like,
time a
any-
You
motherfucker
have a
gets up
channel.
here, go ahead.
No, so you have a channel.
But look,
are you
look,
sitting with people in
just
like in the
go back,
education system
go
or
back,
politics?
go back to this conversation, and you'll see that every single whether it's from this angle, that angle, this angle, this angle, that angle, every single time I've gone to speak through this conversation, I get cut off. But I know what I'm talking about. What do you call it?
Wait, sir, that had nothing to do with speaking of intelligence. You being cut
I
up, you
know,
trying to
you're
make that
trying
point.
to,
Sorry,
you're
it
trying
didn't
to
work.
diminish what I'm saying. What I'm
No,
saying
that's
is,
not
I
a
don't know.
diminishment.
Well, I
It's
don't
not.
even know what you're talking about. I don't even know where these people
Well,
exist.
then you should say that rather than making
I've
a
been
point that's
saying
not
that. I've
there.
been saying, where are these people? Who are you talking
Here,
about?
I'll tell you. All you gotta do is hop up
But I
here.
told you, but it's not my fault if you're not listening. I said the education system. I said people who sit up in politics. I said this.
Here on
Well,
this panel, the motherfucker to
then
get up
If
in
you're
every
not listening,
story.
that's not my problem.
bro, I can only listen to a certain amount of things at a time, so I accept that. I don't know what you're arguing about or what. I accept that. If you say these people exist, okay. Like if you're trying
It's not
to
me
say,
arguing. I'm correcting you because you said it didn't happen. I'm correcting, not arguing. See,
okay,
no,
correction.
you see how I picked up the words that you used and how you used them, why it was important.
Okay, well, I'm correcting.
All right then. All right then. Thank you.
Can
And
I ask?
I go ahead.
Can I ask this concept of communication when we're basically everybody that's communicating is trying to paint a picture, right? You're trying to get the other person to see it. This art of communication, right? Is this a talent or is this a skill set that people can generally learn?
Skill set and talent, the same shit.
Both.
No, it's not.
But it is both.
The skill set part, is this a thing that we generally would go through like a experience?
You increase
basically
the skill
like
of your
trial
talent.
and error.
Your talent is there,
learn.
and then
you can
increase
learn it.
that
It's not
skill.
innate. Yeah, it's not an innate thing that you pick up
You
on.
can make words with your mouth, and you can use your facial expressions. This is just normal, but to be very good at it, it's charisma.
Yeah. Some people are naturally charismatic. Some people are naturally better at body language than others. But it doesn't mean that you cannot learn these things.
Well, yeah, Hitler took classes for this.
Exactly.
And practice in the mirror a lot. Blind, I would disagree. There's no way you run these panels and you haven't seen these people. Anybody, who runs that debate sector, their words are all used to flowery words that are just used to make themselves look good. You've seen that type of people. Anyone who gets up here, if their story is always related to, well, the way I did it, or me, I, those are people who are using the words to fool you. Maybe you're not picking up on it, but these egotistical, arrogant fucks just run the fucking panels.
You're right. You're right. I have to say though, I don't allow those people to interact with me without thinking critically. Like I'm not. But you're right. Just observing, I do see that. But I don't. I try. I would think that Resla, the only reason I even give Resla pushback is because I would think that he would just eradicate that shit from his focus, like easy, very easy.
Wait. What do you mean by that? I'm getting. I don't want to step in your shoes here, but you eradicate that for that focus. You mean keep them out of off the show and out of.
I would. I mean, I do.
All right. I was just making sure I understood your terminology.
Wouldn't that necessarily limit your experience, right? Like if you're always around one type of person, what else is going to work?
No, not around one type of person, but not around a certain type of person specifically.
Same thing.
Because you now have put people into a box, which means that's that type of person.
So the thing, look,
you're never going to experience that type of.
If you take one person, let's say Blind on one end and Resla on one end, and you get 5 people in a circle, and you say, okay, each 5 of you is going to have a philosophical idea that you're going to insert into this person. Now, if I allow y'all to have a person in there mixed in there with a bucket of shit, then I am allowing a bucket of shit into my belief system, into my brain, and into my existence.
Can I ask a question?
Don't do that.
I mean, let me ask you a question now, and I'll ask it to the entire panel. What do you think is the smartest and more beneficial thing to do? To learn thy enemy in order to defeat them, or to avoid them?
That's something completely different.
You see his point.
You said you don't understand why I just don't eradicate.
That doesn't reach my point. I see your point, and it's a tiny
the point that you made was saying that you don't understand my point and being able to do it.
But did you think about what I said about the bucket of shit? I don't allow people to shit in my brain.
Yeah,
actually, I like your analogy. So you're walking down the sidewalk, you see a guy, he's standing on the gutter. The gutter smells like shit. Now he smells like shit. So you walk around him, but you cannot avoid the fact that you have seen him.
No. Fucking Resla saying more, Brick. Resla saying more. And I think I agree. If he is saying this, there is an advantage to having knuckleheads around. You have to see them to learn how to move around when you run into the next guy who's trying to manipulate you or call you names. So you don't freak out. You have to have these people around at least a certain amount so you learn.
To me, that's a matter of discernment. And I make that I use that discernment every time that I begin an interaction. But I end my or start my conversations higher on the end of not tolerating it. I'm not going to allow somebody.
I'm hearing what you're saying, but when I think about this particular thing, you used a bucket of shit. But I look at this in a matter of chess. Too many people get on chess and they think that their most powerful piece is the queen.
Hold on. Though, address what you say. Don't just run through it. You said I use a bucket of shit.
You used the word bucket of shit. Yeah,
you did. Did you not? Don't tell me you forgot already.
What are you talking about?
You use the phrase. I forgot.
Yes. Yeah. But I thought you were saying. I thought you were using the. I mean, I can't tell when you get so highly emotional. I can't tell.
Damn. Because we literally went through a whole thing about a bucket of shit, and now you say,
yes.
Did I do that? Yes.
But I didn't know if you were saying that I was the person with the metaphorical bucket of shit right now.
You're the only person that mentioned a bucket of shit in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You're the only person. You're the only one. You're the only one.
Hold up. We're skipping a step here. How do you know without interacting with a bucket of shit? How do you know it's a bucket of shit?
It's a bucket of shit.
Thank you. You can't tell which ones are a bucket of shit that you can't tell. But the ones you can tell are a bucket of shit.
How do you know?
Because why? Why?
Because you've ran across them before.
Exactly.
Because you've smelt that shit before.
So you interacted with it and it was beneficial.
How do you avoid future buckets of shit if you don't learn the signs beforehand?
Yes, but that's the thing is we can't get rid of the things we already went through. Yes, of course.
Yes, we can.
The thing is and this is a perfect metaphor because the thing is some buckets of shit get in no matter what. And yes, that's the ones you choose to learn from. Those are the buckets.
Are buckets of shit useful?
Yes.
Yes.
They
Can I fertilize? Can I fertilize my
So
garden?
are y'all saying within this metaphor that y'all prefer the bucket of shit mixed in?
Yes, you have to learn what
No.
it's for.
Yeah, I'm going to take it further, Blizz, and I'm going to use a little of analogy here. So I wish y'all give me a little room here. If you're a doctor, do you come to heal the sick or the healthy? So if you're on these panels and you want to give your message, if you tell it to motherfuckers like me and Resla who already agreed, yeah, facts, baby. Or do you take it to the motherfucker who needs it? You need to change that bucket of shit into a better person. Got to be around to pull it off, at least
I
to some
agree with
degree.
that. I
Good
agree with
analogy.
everything you're saying. I don't think that's a parallel though. I agree with everything you're saying because I would rather engage with people who disagree with me than not. But that's not a bucket of shit to me. To me, a bucket of shit is somebody that either knows or doesn't know, possibly where they stand with me, but they just want to get me to react a certain way.
Sure. But blind, even to the point where we're saying, even to the point of all the stuff I was talking about right now, and even Dom is saying right here, or toxic. The best way to learn to deal with toxic people is to be around toxic people. To deal with toxic people.
No, because once you learn they're toxic, you don't want to be around them no more.
How do you? Again, the best way to defeat your enemy is to learn their tactics. Know thy enemy, Sun Tzu.
That's your opinion. I respect it as your opinion, but
once you understand they're toxic and you have deciphered where their toxicity comes from, then you can retaliate and manipulate.
Well,
You're immune to the shit and you can move them around.
See, okay, yeah. Well, let me say this because I'm talking about mentalities. I'm talking about your philosophies. So I can stand to be around these people. I just don't let them into my mind. Like I agree that you have to be around them. Sure, you have to communicate with them, but none of them will ever get into my.
Well, let me ask you this in reference to this: what is the absolute? Well, not the absolute, but one of the worst ideas you've ever heard? Just give an example.
I don't even know.
The mustache guy. That's a bad
eradication
idea.
of a certain
letting children under
things
12
like that, right?
How
would you possibly know that these are bad ideas unless at first you have heard them?
But do you not realize that's not what we're arguing here?
That is
what we're
exactly
arguing
it.
here is what we're arguing
ideas.
is if you should tolerate somebody that has one of those ideas.
It's bucket of shit.
But how do you not learn? How do you learn to not tolerate that if the idea didn't first manifest for you to deal with it?
Yes,
and to deal with
we've
kind
done past that. Yes, we've established that. Yes, you do initially have to interact with the shit, but once this is the thing. For a perfect example, the mustache guy. We've already dealt with the mustache guy. If somebody comes into the scenario talking like him, then they're going to eradicate their
look to your left. Why am I here? Why are you here?
You're gonna have to give us more, Josh.
I am a stern authoritarian, right? You are literally talking to pretty much as close as you can get to a fascist, right? And you're really on panel right next to me. What are you talking about?
Stupid idiot. The point, Blizz, is that sometimes you run across a bucket of shit. He's on the panel with 9 other
He's
motherfuckers.
on the panel right now.
And what? Do you leave? I couldn't avoid him. You couldn't avoid him. Your tactic doesn't work. You know whose tactics do work? Motherfuckers who's learned these niggas. So he's not going to trigger me. In fact, I see his weaknesses since I've been around him in so many buckets of shit so often. I have a game plan.
Here's the funny part. So, Blind, would you say that I'm a fascist?
No.
But yet, I'm cool with Josh. And he says that a lot of people will look at him as a fascist.
Yeah, you got to get rid of him, Russell.
Yeah, but I was talking about a deeper conversation than that.
He says things that I absolutely don't agree with.
That's healthy then. I was talking about...
But it's healthy, but also... Josh has also figured out a way to deal with me because, quite frankly, I found ways to immediately counter him. But I could not do that without becoming exposed and accepting that people are different and I need different people. I need difference of opinion around me.
Do you realize that there is something that makes you Resla and not Josh, though, right? There is never a point to where y'all start merging. Now,
are you pivoting and dodging here?
No. No, y'all are just missing my entire point.
I think you just disregarded
No, it's
his
my
to
point.
give your restate yours
You didn't
again
know
without
mine,
saying
yes, I
whether
already
his
said-
was
I already
positive
said-
or negative.
I already said I agree with the fact that you have to interact with the bucket of shit. I'm talking about protecting your own mentality. There's something deeper than what you're. Look, you see, Resla just listens to me to respond. He don't. he's not even capable
No,
of
but you've been doing that for quite some time. Literally, if I learn somebody and I understand and I build a frame of a tactic, they can no longer enter my mind.
What does that even mean, fool? That's so fucking dumb.
Can someone else explain? Because apparently it coming out of my mouth is not good enough for
No, I get
blind.
it. Yes, I get
No,
it.
you said what does it mean? You can't say you get it then. Which one is it?
You're reframing what I said.
Can someone else explain it? Because apparently coming out of my mouth is not good enough for blind.
Yeah, you start off, Blizz, because you've moved your goalpost 18 times. It started with, wait. See, you're interrupting. You're blaming us. I've been watching you interrupted every motherfucker every time you've talked so far, except maybe once or twice. It's been an interruption. My point is, it's just normal. Well, don't complain about interrupting, motherfucker, if you do it too, is where I was going with that shit. All right. Now I'm going to say it again. You moved your goalpost. At first it was, I don't be around buckets of shit. Now it's, I don't let them get in my mind. So why don't you give us the what you are trying to say, and we'll address that in particular.
I wasn't even talking about me. I was saying, okay, the way that Resla complains. See, y'all don't even know how to listen.
You was literally talking about her. I don't let them get in my mind. You
Y'all are incapable of listening. So why am I going to talk to somebody that can't listen? I mean, I'll just listen.
I don't think we got no sympathy. I don't have any sympathy for motherfuckers who want to cry like kids on a panel when they're grown. That don't move me.
What's up, Joku?
What's that, Ro?
Sometimes it is easier to listen than it is to express a point. It's called verbal judo for a reason. Let someone express their point, and if they fall on their face, they fall on their face.
Let's let some of these new guys get in. They've been quiet.
So I just want to interject here. Hear the argument. We're having two different conversations, right? Resla and most of the panel is saying, you know, they like to learn from their enemies and conquer the whatever the indifferences are, so that they're able to adjust, adapt, whatever, right?
Accurate, yes.
The blitz is talking basically in a new modern the dating type, right? Where the woman gets talking, walk away, right? That's the new way to deal with problems, right? Instead of arguing with her, instead of trying to change her and put her in check, just walk away, right? And so that's what I'm saying. We have two different conversations, right? Where the blitz is talking about, well, I don't want to. Once I recognize that this bucket of shit's coming out, I'm just going to go around it. So that's it's and then there are people that deal with it like that. Then there are people who deal with it like Resla, right? Who's like, okay, Resla is obviously more of a people person, so he deals with staff and stuff like that. So he's learned the ability to, when a bucket of shit pours out, how to figure it out and how to make it work to the benefits of him, right? So that's one of his specialties. So that's all it is here. So it's just two different approaches, right? This also testifies that men are not a monolith, right? We all don't deal with things the same way.
I'm gonna say he's fucking wrong, bro.
So neither one of you guys are wrong, right?
No, he's wrong. He's definitely wrong.
No, he's right.
You guys are all wrong.
No, let me say this.
Sure.
No, he's right. The Blizz is right. That's how he deals with problems, right? That's how he deals with it. If he wants
don't make it right.
Wait, if his wife cheats on him, right, and he elects to walk away.
Don't talk about people's wives.
There are times to walk away, but just because the person's bucket of shit,
go back a step and explain to me how avoidance is dealing with a problem.
Because maybe he might be triggered and do something worse.
There has to be a point where you mature beyond engaging.
Goofy as fuck, dude.
Hold on, 1 minute. Let me try to break this down, right? Just let me try to break it down.
Right. Go on, come on.
So, like for example, right? Everybody's not a leader. Everybody doesn't have the ability to deal with conflict resolution as well as others, right?
I like where you're going.
Some. This is why you have, when the simulation of people, you have a leader who, especially in wartime, right? You have people who can think clearly, right, and other people get behind them, because everybody does not.
This better be going somewhere.
Right.
Sun Tzu said that in Art of War too.
Let me land it. Everybody doesn't react into conflict that's the best in the best interest, because some are more emotional, some are more less thinking, right? So Resla would be the general, right? More like the Blitz.
Oh my God! Everybody let you talk. You're so stupid.
The Blitz is more of a soldier, right? He's not the type that's going to be able to deal with a whole bunch of people's attitudes, right? Somebody say something, he might take off and beat him up, right? He doesn't want to talk about it. So instead, he's developed a mechanism that, you know what, if I see it, I'm going to walk away. So he's not necessarily a leader, right? He's more of an individualism. Wrestler, more of a leadership guy, is going to figure this shit out. Like, okay, why did he say that? And let's have a conversation.
We'll reiterate the question again.
What conversation?
How does one know? And I'm not talking about like other people know. How does the person that's measuring themselves, how do they know whether they're a leader or not? How do they know whether they're emotional or not, unless they interact with other people?
So we have a sample size. The average person has a sample size in their lifetime from elementary growing up on how they deal with certain situations and have slotted themselves on, okay, this is who I am, right? And then we get to
Hey, John, excuse me. You finally got your mic working, and it's just to come up here and interrupt dude every time he starts talking.
So some people, this is why, and you go into the armed forces or any war zone, you have elected people who can think in these intense situations, because everybody doesn't have the ability to to do the right thing at every point. So what the Blitz is, maybe if his wife yells at him, he might haul off a slapper. So
you're just repeating yourself. We understood that.
Right.
No, I'm not, because I don't feel like this is being explained here. Because your first example is by interacting with other people, and your second example is by other people selecting the people to be in those
You did
positions.
do that. You did say that.
No. Okay, let me make it clear.
Yeah, my bad for interrupting
the
nonsense.
Your first point, JJ, when you said, well, how does one know if they're slotted a certain type of way? Through life experiences, right? Through anecdotal experiences.
By interacting with other people?
Yes, I mean that's a no-brainer, right? Everybody has to interact with some fucking bodies.
Right. So then the question comes down to is, okay, let's say like the concept of a leader has to be seasoned, right? They have to basically practice it. Would you just like have one negative reaction or negative interaction with another person and just cease from there? Or would you continue to do it, AKA practice?
Depends on what I'm capable of, right? If I know that.
How do you know what you're capable of?
JJ, I just told you sample size of my life. If I know that through my life that people said something to me and I took off and swung and started fighting them, and I've come to the point that I need to mature from that, because that's something that put me in jail or give me a lot of time. I then say I develop a different world, like the Blitz. I'm going to walk away.
Well, you did say until you mature from that, meaning at some point you will have to engage that shitty guy who triggers you. Yes, so you agree with us that you should be around him.
Meaning you went to jail for violence, and someone else had an influence on you, telling you you were not a leader, you are a prisoner now.
Here's my biggest problem with what Ruthless is saying is that you are saying that you are going to know what that person is, how they are going to react, how they're going to interact with you in the future. Yes, because what you're saying is that you're going to avoid them because you know what they're going to do or say.
That's not what I'm saying.
It's about indicators. It's about indicators.
What I'm saying, what I'm clarifying is, right? Joshua asked me a question. How do you know if you're a certain type of way? And I answered the question by saying through life experiences, right? From elementary.
It's ridiculous. You don't know what you're talking about.
So you're saying that you could possibly be triggered by any little thing that a certain person could say.
Listen,
that's exactly why you were second string when I was coaching football.
So, but everybody has developed different mechanisms on how they are to make it through this journey. Everybody doesn't have the same
So if you're going to go ahead and tell me
You can't define mechanism. You don't know what you're talking about.
Wait. Let me make this very, very, very clear for you, Ruthless. If the only way you can discover what your allergies are is if you experiment enough to be able to figure out what they are, right? Right? Is that yes or no? Okay, cool. So then after you already figured out what the allergies are, what you do is either you have two options. Either you can prepare and have an EpiPen because you don't know. Just because you are aware of what your allergies are doesn't mean that the world understands what your allergies are, and therefore you can have yourself prepared through experience to carry an EpiPen with you. Or you can choose, like even if you said in your example, to avoid just areas, but again, the world is still out to get you. So when you're saying that if you have which means that you're going to limit yourself, limit your experience, and limit your exposure to other places because you're still going to be under the idea or the guise that because the world doesn't know you, I'm not going to prepare. So for instance, if I know that I am allergic to nuts or fish, let's just say it this way, there are plenty of places that I could go to eat, and the best way for me to be prepared is to carry an EpiPen. Versus, I'm just going to only eat at this one spot all the time because I am afraid to look at every other place because they might be cooking with fish or nuts or whatever, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready to deal with that.
I love your EpiPen analogy.
So good point.
You know,
the thing is,
I want to agree with Resla here for a second. I live out in the desert, and there is a watering hole here that has like 80-degree water because it comes from a natural spring. Now there are mud daubers there, which are very similar to bees. I'm allergic to bees. When I go to this watering hole, my dumb ass takes an EpiPen because the smell of vermin seeping out of my pores while I sit in the natural hot springs brings everything that flies and stings to my pink ass. So I carry an EpiPen with me. It's knowing your limitations, adjusting your expectations and preparations.
Okay, so what I'm gonna respond right in men are not a monolith. I understand that how one deals with certain things is different, right? But we're not a monolith. Every man has their different.
Ruthless. This is not about men being a monolith. This is about capabilities and cognizance.
So if you let me land my plane,
wait. This is not about a group. This is about an individual taking personal responsibility and accountability to what future things could be. This has nothing to do with that.
So we just talked about the
personal responsibility, taking responsibility for yourself and the people around you if you are that.
But we're not responsible for everybody, right? So
this is not a conversation about the
I was responding.
This Marine says if you're not responsible for the men in your unit, you're not a leader.
No, but obviously you weren't even listening to Blind, because this entire conversation with the men that were up here before everybody started coming up is that we were talking about people who have an individual understanding of how they perform tactics. This wasn't about being a leader or being a general or being accountable for the whole. This was none of that shit.
Well, we just haven't.
Your goalpost is on the enemy 60-yard line right now.
So just for the response, let's have a conversation. Okay, let's have a conversation. All I'm saying is this: to the Bliss point, he has developed a mechanism in his life that he feels is he
making your point?
I'm scared you about to repeat yourself, which is why I think people are starting to cut you off.
Sorry, brother.
He has developed a mechanism, right, to deal with things that are negative by creating a pattern of, I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away. Once the negative is exposed, he's not gonna take it head on.
He runs.
Yeah, but are men a monolith is what I want to know. That's why I came up here.
I don't know if
relax.
There are sometimes when people walk away for
Ruthless. Let me finish. 1 second, guys. Ruthless. I came up for a specific reason. I want to ask.
Ruthless.
Just let me ask you one question.
Your plane is doing a worldwide trip.
No, it's not.
I haven't heard
Just
from
one quick.
I haven't heard from 10th. Like what's
one quick question, and then I'll be quiet.
John has been back and forth. Even when he started getting his mic together, I still haven't heard shit.
You've been talking for 15 minutes. One quick question. Earn minimum monolith.
Let me finish my thought though.
No, you're not. No, your thought's been dude.
I'm just saying it's just for the man.
It keeps going.
Don't make me be disrespectful.
Energizer bunny up here, bro.
If a man,
I'm about to be disrespectful. I'm about to be disrespectful towards you, Ruthless, if you don't stop.
If a man wants to avoid problems,
are you so fucking stupid that somebody can't tell a joke and then you can retain your fucking thoughts, you dimwitted fuck? Are you that fucking stupid?
Listen.
Are you that? No, I'll just keep screaming over you, idiot. Are you that fucking stupid that someone can't tell a fucking joke and you can retain your thoughts? Are you that fucking stupid or are you fucking drunk? Which one?
You're a bitch.
No, I'm a man who tells jokes. I don't just fucking sit there and repeat myself for 15 minutes, and then when someone tries to make a joke to bring levity to the situation, when you're boring as fuck and fucking stupid, but you can't shut up for 10 fucking seconds. You're still fucking talking, idiot.
Fuck you. Fuck Rick. Fuck
you stupid, dim-witted fuck. Your thoughts are so fucking muddled, you're a waste of space.
Just because you don't agree, you can't have the conversation.
No, it's not agree. You have no respect. There's 10 people up here, not one fucking idiot.
Well, Resla, I did say shout out to the
people and
I want my
30 in
credit,
chat.
sir.
Well,
shut the fuck up.
How about this, Resla? How about we just turn the bounties on?
What are you gonna do if I don't shut the fuck up, idiot? Keep fucking talking.
How about
other people get to talk too?
So we can have a money war.
Stupid.
Now I'm just saying I got $100 to say that I'm gonna drop a motherfucker. And if you've been
I don't give a fuck about you, bitch.
Let's go, wrestler. What you gonna do, wrestler? Because if we can't have a conversation, you want to get into just a back and forth with just dumb shit. Let's get the money in.
It ain't a conversation. I've been sitting here for more than 15 fucking minutes listening to you ramble.
So what you gonna do about it? You gonna beat me up or something?
Shoot the money.
No, I'm gonna be disrespectful like I warned you I was gonna.
Listen,
but you don't give a fuck, right? So then if you don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck.
Well, what you won't do?
That's the whole theme of the show, dummy. You are doing what Rizla's talking about.
Who gives a fuck what you can't? Nobody cares what you think.
Both of you are doing it, right? Like there's no the kettle calling the pot black here.
No, I'm giving him what he's asking for. Why should Resla waste his energy?
This ain't the Ruthless Truth Show.
No, I'm not trying to make it. We're just responding.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Point, and
you kind of are.
I got quiet when I got pushback. What's the problem?
No, all I wanted to do was make a joke, bruh. And you're like, no, let me talk.
Because I'm trying to land my point.
No, you're not. You're rambling, and I was trying to make a joke.
Rick, go cut that beard off and come back and talk to me.
4 or 5 words, people would have laughed. You could have kept fucking talking, but you can't shut the fuck up and let someone else make a joke. Why?
Well,
are you that important? Are you that important?
Fuck your joke and fuck you. How's that?
Yeah. Dodge the question. Are you that important?
I'm not important, but I'm here to tell you, fuck you. How's that?
You're here to tell us?
No, I'm here to tell you, fuck you.
Oh, you're just here to tell me?
Fuck you.
Aren't you the guy that asked me not to bring up that I have a husband on the panel earlier because you can't handle it, snowflake?
Fuck you and Brick's beard.
Aren't you that guy who told me I'm an Orthodox Christian. Can you stop bringing up that you have a husband? It makes my penis tingle. Shut the fuck up, pussy.
Who said that? Stupid.
Wasn't that you on OGs earlier?
No, stupid.
No, I was on.
Well,
OGs
you sound that stupid.
No, I was on OGs.
Get the fuck out of here
earlier.
Right? Fuck you and Brick's beard, and I'm done.
Not the beard. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah,
I gotta say something about Brick.
Kind of what I was noticing too is it's kind of like the point that I made earlier is that nobody's winning here. What's the win here?
We can't have a conversation that there is
no. I asked, what is the win here?
The win is you guys have to understand that everybody's not the same. That's it.
No, I don't have to do a damn thing. That's not a win.
How did that become part of the conversation? Do you remember what the original point of the conversation before you open your mouth was?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm talking about between the Blitz and you guys.
No. I would love for you to explain it so that Blind and I can make sure that you're on point.
The Blitz was saying how he has developed a way to deal with problems by going around them, right? Avoidance. And you guys are saying, let's take a step, go for it, and learn it, and break it down.
Close enough.
That's it.
Close,
and I'm saying you both are right.
I had already made a
I just fucking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got you, Joe.
and again, just to reiterate, the problem is we contest that because you're absolutely not dealing with the problem by avoiding it. It's definitional.
What do you mean? Yeah, I 100% am.
And
sometimes avoiding it.
Yeah,
listen,
I couldn't give a shit.
Does the problem still exist?
I've been checked out though. Like I don't know what any one person has said.
I'll just use me as an example. I don't want to drag other people in there. So I am pretty much as bad as they get when it comes down to authoritarianism, right?
God damn
My definition, right? How do you contend with me? You just going to avoid me?
Depends on what it's about.
Who are you talking to, first of all?
He's talking to you, Blind.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Blind.
I will meet you on the battlefield you want to battle on. So if you want to insult, we could insult. If you want to play psychological games, then...
So you would interact with me.
And not avoid.
No doubt, but I'm not going to...
Yeah,
my whole point was about letting something get to you. Because what I would never do is interact with you and then go back to my channel and talk about how you upset me.
That was the goalpost again.
No. This is I'm giving you my entire point.
No, your point was not. I'm going to engage. Now you're sounding like us. You engage and not let them get to you. That was our stance in the beginning.
If you're extending your point, I just let you know you're extending your point now because that wasn't part of it before.
I said that, yes, but I've proven my point, bro.
Do you remember what our point was, Blind?
Yes.
Engage and learn. Don't, so it doesn't trigger us. So now you've pivoted. I wasn't done. Now you've pivoted all the way to our side. I'll engage, learn, and not let it affect me. You are literally saying our side of the argument now. You've come that far.
Yeah, we were talking about engagement. We were talking about learning, strategizing, and engagement. We didn't talk about retaliation. We didn't talk about any of that stuff.
Okay, let me know who to address when I can have my turn and who to direct it towards, and I'll listen.
You didn't listen when we was just talking here. I'll repeat myself if you weren't just listening. I'll say it again.
And we start the whole show over again.
Hold on, Tenth. Hold on. He wants it again. Our stance from the beginning was you can't avoid this shit. You gotta learn how it is so you can move around. So you can manipulate the shit and it doesn't affect you. Your stance was I wasn't done.
Hold on, goddamn! I just listened to you. Now,
no, you didn't, nigga. You just cut me off.
No, I just.
But go ahead.
Because you're gonna continue. You just made a really good point. Okay, you made your point.
He can only retain 3 words. You got 3 words.
Right. That's the thing is I was having a deeper conversation. I was having a deeper conversation because when I say that I'm not going to let something get to me, it means that it's not going to affect my mentality. So just the way that I've sat here and I've proven my point, I sat here and listened to all the shit that was happening. No, you might feel that way. I feel like
you're stuck in a helix.
Your point was, I see shit, the shit people, I avoided. I go around them. It was not, I engage so I can learn, as you're saying now.
I wasn't talking about like physics because I have to engage with shit. I wasn't.
We know that. That's why I told Ruthless you was wrong. He been sitting there still, man, in your argument. Now you're saying he don't know what he was talking about. That's not what I was saying.
Well, I'm saying that I know I have to interact with it. I was talking about because I was, like I said, the reason I brought up whether I'd go back and talk about something is because I was talking about Resla and if something had affected him with somebody else. Like, I don't know if that was his purpose of having the topic, but I was saying, don't let it affect you. Don't let it have a mark on your mentality. That was my point at the kernel of it.
Well, the problem with that is it will.
That's fair.
No, it's not fair, Ruthless.
It's a lie.
Stop. It will have an effect
It's not
on
a
you.
lie.
Yeah, that was not what you've been
That's
saying
your
the last
opinion. That's your
hour.
opinion.
Stop it.
Right? Some people can compartmentalize and move on. Some people react emotionally.
I don't like niggas. I call them on that
Go to this
bullshit.
platitude of compartmentalize. Go ahead and explain that one away, Ruthless. No, please don't. Please do not do that.
Ruthless,
Because we know that that's a platitude.
You walked in, you know, which one was it? Which one you think it was for me? Was I just being emotional or was I analyzing the situation? Which one was it, huh?
You're both.
Yeah, no. Oh, now I'm both. Okay, cool. Yeah, you agree with that, Blind? You agree with that assessment?
I agree with that, motherfucker. You're as
like-
emotional as you are analytical. I agree with it. You're both. You're extremely skilled at both.
I like to give the rest of skin. That's all. But I would say this, right? There's different tactics, man. All these are nuances, right? Different strokes for different folk. It just no one size fit all, right? Every situation.
Yeah, we agree on that. Yeah.
Some situations call for straight, head-on collision.
Gorilla shit. Yeah.
Right. There's some situations you have to, like, for example, your boss comes to you and accuse you of something that you didn't do. Do you engage right there, or do you let him get it off, walk away, go do your research, prove that you didn't do it, and then come back and conflict resolution? So every situation does not have the same results.
We agree. We all think we all agree with that.
Yeah, that's I think that's what we're missing here, right? Like I said, this is why we can't sit here and say, well, if somebody gets a negative situation, they shut down and walk away and try to avoid it. That because maybe they know that they're triggered, that if they act, it might be violent. And it might cost them their job, their family, and some more shit.
Just to be fair, nobody was jumping that far ahead. We've always just been talking about core principles.
And nobody listens to shit. People aren't capable for listening than longer
Every
than 3
one of
seconds.
us listens to shit.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right, Josh, JJ, you're right. But how we deal with it and how we take it upon, some of us compartmentalize it.
Do we disagree that we
attack it head on?
Do we disagree that we do so, or we learn by practicing it, like doing it over and over until we? I guess eventually get it right.
This is something you can't avoid, right? Because this is life.
Right. So then there really is no disagreement.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying the whole time. All you guys are right by your own.
Yeah, I see that now. I agree with that. And let me say this: when I talk about this stuff, I'm talking about in the most personal point of view you can, because I'm just relating my experience and saying if somebody wants to take that for what they can get out of it, then they're free to. What do you call it? And the way I look at it is that once you can identify something isn't good for you, I'm hard line. I don't fuck with it. Like when I've identified that and I mean that as in I don't think about it. I don't let it affect me. I cut it completely out of my existence to the best of my ability. And that was all that I meant.
Sure. I guess I kind of I understand your final conclusion, right? It's just when you go about the process by skipping all of the steps in the middle, it's not explanatory. It's just saying,
right.
Here's problem A, and then here's solution Z. But we've forgotten all of the other 24 letters in between, right? And
look at the way a topic is handled, because I would have gotten to that conclusion a lot faster. But people hear something that they don't agree with right away, and they want to start talking instead of listening.
You're wrong again.
Look,
if you wanted to get to that conclusion a lot faster, you would have said, no. You would have listened to us, and what you would have done would have said, yes, I agree with you. However, in the end, it goes here. You said, no, this is how you do it. So we had contention. We could have got there a lot faster if you acknowledged what you took an hour to acknowledge.
You just proved my point, though. Before I was even finishing my sentence, you're already ready to speak. Like,
yes, I've already judged you as
like,
fucking wishy-washy. Yes, I feel like, yes. Whatever you're going to say, I think is going to be a lie or a dodge. You ain't admitted to nothing yet tonight. So I expect you to dance a lot.
Then that's why you will never get any wisdom out of what I have to say. That's fine. That's perfectly
I get wisdom out of everything you say. It may not be what you're intending to come to me, but I learn listening to everyone, man, woman, or child.
No, the problem that we're having hold up, guys. Because you guys are just going back for the problem that we're having, and again, this is something that I think a lot of people need to take under their own idea of communication. If I ever have to give anyone any advice, is that you guys become so much fucking long-winded that when you become too long, instead of getting to the point of what you have to say, other people look at you as being untrustworthy.
Bro, 2 words is long-winded to most to y'all.
There's some truth there, but I still think I'm right.
3, and then you said you got to 3 and you stopped listening. You something you said earlier today. So apparently 3 words is too long.
Well, so I'll extend an olive branch here, right? I genuinely don't believe you to be a dishonest person or anything like that, or most people that I interact with, right? It's just,
I hope I didn't call you dishonest. I apologize. I didn't mean dishonest, but I do think that you will not face some shit.
Well, hold up. I genuinely think that we have to go through these, like, I guess, shitty ass experiences to practice, to learn.
Yes.
I have to learn how to explain, because I've got some really nasty fucking prescriptions, right? And genuinely, people will eventually agree with me, not because it's a prescription, because it's a statement of what is, right? But I have to learn how to practice that explanation. The same way that I think other people have to learn how to, like, I guess we're talking about the concept of going through and practicing the explanation part. If it's a skill set.
If you want, if
neither do I, blind. He's a fucking fed.
Motherfucker.
But if your goal is to be heard and listened to for by specific audience, but if what you're saying is just true and you don't have any kind of investment into whether people take it or not, then I mean, because I'm not a debater. I don't debate. Y'all seen, I don't pull people up on my panel just to talk about dumb shit or any of that. What do you call it? So I come here as an outsider.
I can
wait a minute, blind. Wait a minute, blind. You know, I'm your friend. You know, I'm your brother.
I'm part of the panelverse.
When you say you haven't pulled anybody up,
no, I said I don't like to. I'm saying
okay, all right. Because I was going to ask about what you did with that Danny dude. Did you just call him up to beat him up one day?
Oh, I've done that. That's not what I was saying. I was saying idiotic shit that has no value, like in the panelverse.
Well, okay. I just want to point out this, and this is where the problem is with the practice, right? Because I do say certain things, not in the concept of trying to convince other people, but to seek out my people. Meaning I definitely want to basically, but the problem is my people want to conflict with others. So it would be the case that my group of people will conflict with, let's just say you're on the other side. I actually don't know your positions. I don't know you well enough, right? But let's just hypothetically say you're on the other side. I am actively recruiting, seeking other people that hold the same stance as mine to, in this case, attack people from your space. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No.
So the idea of interacting is he
hates freedom.
No, he's saying that's his stance. That's where he's
problem with that is if it's your stance that conflict be the case. Is that your stance, Josh?
No, my stance is force. My stance, by definition, is force. There is no talking. There is no negotiation. It's just force.
Then why do you not take that stance?
Do I not take the stance of force?
He does.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
I take the stance, but I also realize the concept is I'm a minority group, right? I have to grow in numbers to be effective.
Well, he talks that shit all the time. Ever since the day I met him, that's all.
He talks it, but he does not act it.
Well, that's the point. Talking it is not it. Talking it is the opposite of it. Isn't that their whole point, John?
That wouldn't be true either.
I actively do belong to a group. I hold membership. There is there's some stuff that happens.
So you're going around trying to convince people that your position is
no. He's trying to recruit people who already believe that.
Yeah.
Well, the recruiting part is part of convincing. You
don't have to necessarily convince a nigga. Some people have his mindset. He's looking for them. He's not trying to change minds and win them over. He's trying to find people who think like them and recruit them to join his organization so he can attack niggas like me and you out there yelling at the police.
Yeah, he's not
And
converting.
that's what a Fed
like
who's trying to infiltrate groups would say. Yes.
Yeah.
That is actually what Fed. Well, technically, that is how Feds. Most federal.
Oh, I know, bro. No, I know.
The Fed.
You've been trying me for a while.
You're crazy, man. I'm sorry, you're not welcome on my panel, Josh.
Here come that avoidance. He's gonna get away from you, Josh.
We're gonna default back to avoidance again.
I can appreciate what you're saying, but it just for some reason it seems fallacious on its face. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is at the moment. I will get to
right now. Google.
I see where you're going, Brett.
Right
fallacious.
You're saying that even though that shit come out your mouth, I've seen you enough times to know that you ain't about that shit. And so
right. Yeah, there's something wrong with what you're saying. I can't point at it.
Well, hey.
Like here's the thing: you allow others to espouse their views.
Yeah. Why? How do I hold up? How do I know my view? Because like one of my concepts here would be like Christian nationalism, right? How would I know that Christian nationalism is good or bad? Why wouldn't I? How would I conclude what I conclude without, like, I don't know, throwing shit at it?
That's part of standing in your square right there.
Well, I don't know about standing in my square.
Especially with Christianity, that's faith.
You're saying you know a thing, and if you know,
I'm saying I comprehend, or at least I believe I comprehend Christianity, right? But now let's say we're going to move this to an authoritarian position. Let's bring back, like in this case, like bring back like the church being above the crown. Let's bring back like those time periods, right? So the question is if I'm going to engage with this idea, right? If I honestly believe it, why would I not test it? And to be fair, I can't think of every angle. I would have to engage with you people.
That test is force. And
no.
Frank, you can't convince somebody.
How would I know that Christian nationalism?
Force them.
Yeah, no. How
I think y'all missing each other a little bit here.
No. The point would be to eliminate. The goal would ultimately be to eliminate the other side.
All those who believe in anything else other than.
But go back to the idea of Christianity being a national.
So you're a Christian nationalist by force?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and he's espoused that part many times. The problem that I have with it is that there's only one avenue for that. And it's not to convince anybody. It's not to go seeking out people. That's just not part of it.
They absolutely seek each other out, right?
But
like up until recently, they've only been lobbied for.
No, not by force.
Well, no.
You're saying by
now
force.
the fascism, the fascism part, that's something else, right? If you're trying to marry the two,
find these people who are like me. No, that's not. Part of it.
The marrying the two ideas together has to be tested, and the only way I can test it is by throwing ideas at it. But unfortunately, I'm not the person.
Well, the like-minded people will come to you. You don't go looking.
No. You're skipping
in that ideology.
Steps. How do you test an idea, whether it functions or is useful or good or bad? Like, how do you go about testing it?
Well, you start out by not fucking with glowies.
Fuck. Yeah, motherfucker. Go back to your trailer park.
Burke, you get what Josh is saying, that you were saying that he doesn't use force on panel. Aside from the fact that he's only one man, he is saying this is beneficial to me because I get to see all you hippies what you talk about, and I can test my theories against listening to you motherfuckers talk that shit and see how solid my philosophies are. So it's a win-win.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, now actually you're hitting on the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah,
so that's
I need
not
your
force.
Idea to
your
go
idea
against...
is solid.
Yeah, no.
If your idea is solid, you don't need to go test the theory.
No. I need...
Nonsense.
How do you
If
know
you
whether
really
something is
believe
solid
that
or
your
not?
idea is solid, there is no other.
No.
No, you test that
possibility
motherfucker
of-
ruthlessly, endlessly. When you think you're right, you test it more. You call your friends, you ask their opinion, you test that thing endlessly,
That's not what
even
he's
when you
saying.
think
He's
you're right.
saying his idea is solid.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
saying
not
through
saying
the
that.
ringer
I'm
and make
saying
sure
I
that it don't
have to
fail.
test it.
Force. Right?
No. I'm
The
saying
idea of
I
force
have.
is solid. You cannot go back from force.
Well, okay, let's try this again. If you have an idea, how do you know it's good or bad, right or wrong?
It doesn't matter. It's force.
You test it.
I mean,
No,
he has a point.
Break,
Just
break,
good
you're
or
gonna
bad
lose.
doesn't
You're gonna
matter.
lose his point. You're gonna lose his point.
you
You're gonna
want
lose
to
his point
elevate
if
to
you
the point
can't
of
get past
force.
that idea of force first, because he needs the people and the standings first before he can get to force. He alone is not enough to force. He needs the group.
No, what I'm saying is this. If you are using force to apply your worldview, it does not matter what people believe.
No, you're missing it. He can only apply force with the group. He himself is not trying to convince the entire world. He needs to find like-minded people, which means he needs to be strong in what he believes by finding like-minded people, just in case he runs across people. He needs to be strong in his convictions. He needs to be strong in his conviction, which means that he needs to test it all the time to make sure that he is battle-hardened.
Okay,
and after having a strong enough grouping of other people who are recruited, then by force of numbers,
he's gonna come after us.
Do their thing.
That's the fallacious part to me, and this is just my simple belief. Maybe I'm wrong in this.
Sure.
I just feel like if you're going to apply that, it's not practical. It's not practical
Which
to go
part?
by force, but you need others.
Force is not practical.
I don't get that.
If
Because literally,
if you need others,
Seems pretty practical.
people
if
taking
you
over
need
other land,
other
for
people
all of our-
to
for
apply
all of
your
his-
force,
for
you
all
are
of
not
his
applying
previous-
the force.
other armies
Yeah.
going to other people countries
Who's
to take
applying
over
the force?
was
Yeah,
strictly
what-
done by force.
Who's
what
applying
is
the
an
force?
army of
Is it
one?
you?
What
Or
is
is it
an army?
others?
What
Brick,
is an
am I
army?
hearing
Oh
you
my-
correctly? Are you saying he should not go out and gather others in his quest? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think Brick's saying he.
Yes, Brick.
Well,
Thank you.
No, it's
Are
not
you
a should.
saying you want your
Not a should. I'm
grandmas
just
and
saying it's
daughters to go fight
fallacious.
wars for you?
It's a fallacious argument to say that it's practical for other people to apply force that is my own. It's fallacious.
I'm
It's
not
not my
sure-
force if it's other people.
What makes you think, or
This
what,
somehow
what did I
And
say
it
that
does
would
require
imply
convincing.
that it's my force?
Yeah.
That like I own the force.
It's your stance.
He
Yes,
said he
and
go
there are
get
other
a bunch of
people with
people who
those
think like
stances too.
him.
And you will so you can't convince others.
You don't
I
have
feel
to.
like
He
the
said
Blizz-
nothing about
That's
convincing.
why
That
it's
is
your
your
relationship.
word.
Never said
He didn't
convincing.
say
Because
convince
it's
one
Never
time,
said
Brick.
convince.
You keep putting that in his mouth.
He never applied anything that said conversion. He's only seeking like-minded people. He never said conversion.
But Brick
That's a weak
saying-
argument. That's why you keep throwing it in his mouth.
Brick's
Remember,
saying
he
if you
never
haven't
said
laid
that.
no
Get him,
ass
Joe.
yourself, it's
Get
not
him.
your belief system.
But
You're
hey,
saying- Brick's
if
saying-
you don't want to hear, fine. I'm just saying
well,
it's
you've
fallacious.
repeated it like 100 times. You're basically
No,
saying,
I actually you really didn't hear what I was saying.
I'm
saying
I
that-
hear you. I agree with you.
you really didn't.
I agree with you, fool.
Do you?
Well, still, man, his
Okay.
argument. What did he say, Blizz?
He needs the Josh. I think he's basically saying that Josh hasn't kicked
He
no
said
ass.
words
so
and
how
then
can
some
he
other
talk
words
about
and some more
force?
words.
Josh said what? Blizz? I'm sorry. Brick said what?
Josh hasn't kicked any ass, so how is he saying it's his belief system by force? Like he's saying you gotta force.
Was that what you were saying, Brick? That Josh
To
ain't
his
kicked
point,
no ass?
to Josh's point,
Sort of.
he said the best way for him to know how to be able to find like-minded people, not to kick ass. He only said kicking ass on the establishment of a group. So that means he needs to find like-minded people. It was never about being an individual. You guys keep putting that on him. He never stated that.
I thought. What do you mean? Everything applies first as an individual.
Josh, you want to explain your point? Because apparently the point is being missed. People are not listening to understand.
He said a million times. But I think that they're doing what they must do. I'm sorry to say this. Sometimes I'm a shitty guy. But you guys have a problem admitting shit, mostly that you're wrong. You're scared to death of being
It
wrong.
ain't got nothing to do with wrong or right. This
See,
is a
so
belief
you
system
come up with
argument.
shit like that. You do
It's
what
an
you do
argument about
is
belief system.
you'll talk over a
Not right and
motherfucker
wrong.
when they're saying this type of shit. It'll make that type of person very uncomfortable because they don't want to hear that shit. And the other thing you do is you'll put an argument that's easily defeatable in the other guy's mouth. I'm not sure you're taking Josh's
I'm not
shit
sure you were
on its
listening at
head.
all.
All Josh is saying that I go out and find people who think like me, then we're gonna attack y'all. Y'all criticizing him for shit that he did not necessarily say in his statement.
Brick is scrutinizing his belief system. He's not criticizing him.
That's fair to scrutinize his belief system.
Josh has literally said there are strength in numbers, and you guys keep saying it's him.
Why
it's
go
him,
solo?
it's him.
Why would you go solo?
He's literally saying there's strength in numbers. He needs to find like-minded people, which means there's strength in numbers, and you guys keep saying him individually is one person's going to take on shit. He never stated that.
I don't know what his belief system is. I was just
You
backing up
would
a
if
little
you were
bit of what
listening
Brick
because he
said.
said it.
I
said
agree
it.
with Brick. I
Hold on,
agree
hold
with
on.
Brick.
I'll clarify it
it's like
with one
saying,
question
I'll
for Josh.
Take over the world.
Go ahead.
With
I'll clarify
all
it with
these
one
followers
question for
follow me.
Josh. Josh, are you a fascist?
Yes.
Okay, so that's fallacious because you cannot be. It's the group that are fascists.
Yeah. A fascist. Yes.
You cannot be a fascist on your own.
What? Hold up.
Oh my God.
You absolutely
Wait.
can.
Brick,
It's
how
in
did
the
you miss
phrasing.
it? You literally asked for him to go one-on-one for a question, and you
This
literally
is great.
missed it. You shot the jumper, missed the net, missed the backboard, hit the little girl. She dropped
Yeah,
the ice
but
cream,
here
but
it
you
is.
missed
You are
You just
doing
pulled a
exactly
cheddar
what
bob
you
and shot yourself in the
had a
leg with your own
problem
gun.
with about people coming up onto this panel trying to discredit them by saying they can't shoot the jumper. Why are you trying to discredit? Why don't you just address the argument?
Here, let me address the
not-
argument, wrestler.
it's not
I'll
about
address the argument.
Listen to the exact wording. R-U-A, the letter A, meaning one, fascist.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't be. You can't be.
Well,
According to
your
your definition, you
question-
have
that
to
means you can't be a
symbolize on the group.
communist, a capitalist, a
Yeah, you can't be
socialist.
any
You
kind of
can't be
is.
anything.
I mean, you can't be anything.
What
No,
kind of
you can be
argument are you
something.
presenting here?
You can be something.
Are we truly anything?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're not the
Oh,
We're
idea.
gonna have to
Here we
go there
go.
to get out of this one.
But you're not
This
the
is
It's
crazy.
kind
idea.
of lot.
Are you truly a
claiming to
boy
be
or
an
are you truly a
idea.
girl?
A
Are
fascist
you
is
truly
an
a human?
idea.
I'm gonna
Are
be a
you
real boy
truly a
someday.
fucking idiot?
I break it down solid for you so that you can understand it, right? So you can be a thing. That thing is you can be a man in a group of people
Shut up, Rick.
that call
man.
themselves fascists, right? But you cannot yourself be the fascist, a fascist. You can't.
What do you
Just
mean
not
the
possible.
fascist? What does that mean?
Stop it.
You think the
It's
people
fascist-
that called
it's
Mussolini a
basically-
An
fascist?
ideologue? You want to be an ideologue?
I hold ideologies.
You're an ideologue. Fine. You want to call yourself an ideologue?
Did I
That's
lay
fine.
claim that
I'll
I
accept
am an
that.
ideology?
Rick, you're in
You
a
don't understand the
helix.
terms you're using.
You're in
You're
a
all so
helix, Rick.
stupid.
Oh, I do know the terms
Stop
I'm
it.
using, and I'm
Define
using it
fascist.
You're in a
to express
helix.
the
anything.
point
You
that
don't know
I
what
am
you're talking
actually
about.
on point. Whereas here it is, Joshua's claiming to be a thing that is just simply an idea. He's an ideologue. Cool.
All right, we're gonna
Idiot
see
with a hat.
There we
fascist
go. We got it, Rick.
definition.
We all agree you are right.
I'm not trying to be right.
You are right.
We just been,
Yeah, good
what
luck.
do we have to say to make you stop?
A
I'm just
far
saying it
right
doesn't make sense to me.
authoritarian. That sounds like him.
uncomfortable now,
A
Brett.
far right authoritarian. That sounds like exactly what he's been claiming since he's got up here. That's under fascist.
Yeah.
I wish you'd go a little bit more, right? They're
Hey,
little
Ah,
Expect
there's
him a
more.
fascist,
There
though.
is more.
I would
Bunch of
expect a fed to
fatties.
be a
Bunch of
fascist.
fascists. The chunky butts.
Yeah, they gave the rest
It's
of it.
just really quite pointless to go after that ideologue.
Right, see,
And-
Let's
Okay, I just figured it out. Hold on. I just figured
Let
out what Brick's
Blizz
saying.
talk. Blizz is preaching up here. Let Blizz
I
talk.
just figured out what Brick's saying. What Brick's saying is kind of what I've been saying a lot is Josh is very exclusionary in the way that he acts. And just like a lot of these religious conversations, you can't go around being exclusionary and then going, hey, we're going to take over the world. That's not going to work.
I don't think that's what Brick was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Brick like, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Here's the funny part, though. Here's the funny part. With respect, Josh did say, he said it before he even got on his whole tirade. He did say, I am a part of a group.
Yeah.
He said that.
He did.
I know people, I'm a part of a group.
Then
So
say,
when you break,
then say we, not I.
He's part of a group.
We are a part of a group. He can't say I. He's got to change it because you feel uncomfortable. I can't say I'm part of a basketball team without this dude telling me it's a team. There is no I. Get the fuck out of here. You're just being weird, bro.
Well, he's claiming that he can't get there without the team.
I mean, not for nothing, but by the way, how this whole thing is even being constructed is like saying, am I black? Well, are you black? Are you part of a black group?
You can't be black because black is a group.
Black is a
you
monolith.
Can't be human because human is a group.
Josh,
right.
Do you actually believe
I can't claim myself to be a human because I have to just say
human is a group.
Yeah, all humans demand reparations.
Good point.
Only if you're black, though, should you get reparations?
Yeah, shut up.
Who determines who's black?
How far are we gonna play word games?
Right, it's fear of being
personal
wrong.
Responsibility, right? So if Joshua is saying that he wants to be a part of the group because the group is going to take care of all his little problems, I'm saying that's not personal responsibility. And Joshua, I'm sorry,
He's a fed.
you're going to have to be responsible for your own personal.
Blizz was trying to express himself. Let the Blizz talk.
Right.
When have I made the claim that I want the group to take care of my little problems?
Yeah. When did he say he's giving up any responsibility and he can let everybody else handle it?
Well, you said by force. Are you really trying to be violent, Josh? Like that's a more.
I actually deal in violence through employment.
He's government. Government is violence.
Specifically with this belief system, do you really believe in taking violence?
Yes, ultimately, yes, I believe in violence. Yes,
you must have it under his philosophy. It absolutely must, right?
That's the only way you'd be able to have a ladyboy concentration camp like he has.
How's he gonna have
God bless the ladyboy.
All Christian society.
Some of them like it.
With hippies running around out there with their own ideas and shit, with dirty hippies out there. He's got to hurt these hippies and either get them to move on or lock them up. He's got to be violent. They can't join us. If you can't be Christian and white, then you ain't no room for it.
Is it a white thing too?
He's really making more simpler than that. If there wasn't the idea of people needing to believe in violence, right? Then people would have disbanded militaries a long time ago. Violence is always going to be the most ultimate thing.
No, but we don't call ours like we're not taking nothing by force. What Josh is talking about is way more violent than the military.
He's talking about the government.
Take everything by force.
Are you serious right now?
Everything in our history has been taken through.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
no, that's not accurate.
Ignore that.
It's not accurate. No, that's not a peace treaty. Peace treaty literal is a document that was written for peace.
But we got
it probably never even got to that point. Unless somebody applied some force, there would have been no need for a peace treaty unless somebody was having force to begin with. That treaty wouldn't even exist without force.
Right? Yeah. Now
right. Even the idea of peace treaty, we never put boots on the ground to come regulate some shit.
This is why civil law exists.
By force.
Civil law exists. We're not a debtor's nation.
I don't understand what that means because we got a massive national.
We took ourselves.
We don't put people in jail for the debt that they accrue.
You really think that's true? If you can't pay up,
wait. No. I love how that shit. I love how you guys just fell right into that. We don't have a debtor's nation. We don't put, which wasn't part of the conversation, but you slipped right into it. You just totally let this man just say that, and you slip right into it. It's a whole new conversation.
No, it absolutely is, Resla. No, it is, because what people are claiming is that we only get there through force, yet we are not a debtor's nation.
But that don't mean nothing.
I don't know why you say that. If you can't pay your child support, what happens?
Talk about putting people in prison.
Child support. I'm talking about debt.
putting people in prison.
That's not debt. I don't know what you mean. I thought that was
not
debt.
the classic form of debt, no.
I didn't say it's classic. It is debt. Give me the debt you're talking about.
Civil debt. We're talking about debt that you accrue through a credit card and other things like that. Loans.
That's because Visa doesn't.
We don't put people in jail for that.
And that means what?
I love how we're talking about putting people in jail when we just literally started talking about an actual force of people.
Yeah, we don't
do military. And all of us, how quickly it just switched to putting people in jail for debt.
So because we don't put people in jail for debt, we don't use force. Is this your argument?
Correct.
These people, the bombs we drop on other people, the people that come get you off the street and lock you up. Wait, I wasn't finished. In this nation. Hold on. He's listen.
What happens to you?
He already asked him that. He knows you go to jail. If
you go to jail.
Yeah,
you're going to jail.
You don't pay your court fines. What's going to happen to you?
On this table right here, I'm talking about specifically debt that you've accrued that isn't government related.
But it's still a poor argument. Let's say that you're right and we're not a debtor's nation.
You don't
Brett. You're right. We're not a debtor's nation. However, that would keep us far away from proving that we don't use force. In fact, I think you got locked up a few days ago. They did that by force. So it looks like our country does.
I owed somebody
it looks like I didn't say it's because of debt. It didn't have nothing to do with that's your dodging shit, right?
Everything is
that's you. No one's talking about you're saying I'm saying force.
I'm trying to make it highly specific to debt. When the whole conversation was not about debt. It was about
we don't arrest people for wearing tight pants either.
My point,
not only that,
it doesn't mean it's not a force country.
Always necessarily a monetary thing.
Joe, hold on. Let me explain to Resla why this topic has come up. People are saying that everything we do is by force. That is not accurate.
What people?
He's being real.
That isn't always a monetary thing either, Brick.
It's not.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Debt isn't always a monetary thing.
Okay.
And the point being,
so not every legal
debt isn't always you owing somebody money, sir.
Of the law is by force. Correct.
And the point being made by someone earlier today, I think it might have been Joe with somebody. We have a history of it. Not all of a
people are trying
monetary and locking people up.
I had this conversation with someone who couldn't stand the idea that I actually have a point, a valid point, by the way, to make. Someone who
so you're trying to squeeze it in here where it doesn't fit.
Call me, what are you, stupid? What are you, a Jew? What are you, a Jew? That was literally
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Handling this conversation, right? Yeah. But when
I had no idea what you're talking about.
When you refuse to listen.
He's rehashing a fight with some dude who's not even on the panel right now.
When you refuse to listen.
By the way, a debtor's nation is a country that owes more to other countries than the other countries owes to it.
Hear another point of view.
Your point was without not a debtor's nation. A debtor's nation is a country. You made that statement. Okay, maybe that's not your point.
Okay.
You said we're not a debtor's nation. A debtor's nation is a country that owes more to other countries than other countries owe to it.
Then we are that.
No. That's not what a debtor's nation is. A debtor's nation
exactly what it
is no. That's not what a debtor's nation is. A country that puts people in jail for the debt that they have, or by force, they take something.
Are you confusing debtor with indentured servitude?
No, it's called a debtor's nation.
That's what he's confusing it with. You're right.
That's how. Because I'm like, could not for nothing without even being federal. Like shit gets repossessed all the time.
Yeah, it can get repossessed by the bank, and then they go and sue you, and they take your stuff, right? Yes, that can happen, but you don't.
Right, but why? Because they owe what? A debt.
And you don't go to what?
How do they take your shit? Do you give it to them, or do they take it out force?
You don't go to jail.
So that's the time. That means we don't use force because you don't go to jail in that instance.
So
they just send people to take away, or you could just cut me off at the first part of my sentence.
I just love the fact how force only got put down to if you go to jail.
Yeah, it has to get real specific, right?
It's a fact.
How force only
by the way,
going to jail.
You don't actually have that stuff taken from you. If you see it coming, you can take it and go put it somewhere.
Why would you narrow down the conversation to just dead, though?
So he could run away. He had to.
Very simple question. Very simple question.
You narrowed it down to dead for no reason.
Right.
Fear. When we're talking about the law,
that anybody can answer. Anyone can answer. Does force only constitute going to jail?
You know what? You just get I get what he's. I looked it up. I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
1 second. I'm trying to help you, Brick. I'm trying to help you. What he's referring to is that in the 1800s, it made it illegal for you to go to jail for owing money. And it was called debtor's prison.
Sure.
So you're getting confused here.
When we're talking about force,
nobody is disputing that.
Yeah, that no one would have even cared about that when his statement was, "We're not a country run by force." We also don't lock people up for wearing stockings. That doesn't mean we're not a country that doesn't run by force. You can wear a tutu down the street. Oh, you didn't go to jail for that, therefore our country doesn't use force. It's a horrible argument. Dude, say something. You ain't got to speak.
Man, I was trying to follow the conversation, but we got off on debt. I was trying to remember like what the deal was.
What conversation was about force, and yet it only somehow constitutes a debt?
In particular, it was about Josh using force, and he was saying,
"Did you see the?
It's doomed
Did you see the
fail."
beginning of the show during Risla's like dissertation? And
No,
he was
sir.
explaining how some people will come on the panel.
No, was he talking about me?
About something
Motherfucker.
that's not even about what the panel's about, and then talk about something that's their own agenda. Brick just had an argument with a guy who's not here.
Oh, did I?
I got no idea who you're talking about.
Because I was talking with Joshua there for a minute until Joe and Resla wanted to jump in, and it is Resla's panel, so it's obviously who wants to talk.
Your words were you had a conversation about some guy, and I have no idea who you're talking about.
I was talking to Josh.
I love.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the
with
Josh
imaginary
conversation. Your argument with Josh was that you can't run a nation by force. When he said,
I didn't say that.
Okay, Josh said you said his force idea won't work. Tell us why.
If it's only by force.
Force is the only thing that men understand.
No, that is not true.
No, it's carrot and stick.
Okay, so
Carrot
what is a
works as
communist
well. You
nation
wouldn't
then?
argue
A
that.
communist nation is by force. You know, these nations are by force, and even I will argue that you can't have a nation without force. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what a nation is.
Yeah, I agree with that. That force is applicable to the law, correct, and it must be there.
So you agree with Josh that he's going to rule his nation by force, and it'll work?
No, he can't. No, he can't.
Why
because
not?
It can't be the only application.
He didn't say only. You're adding something so you can defend something again. Let's just take the words I said. You're going to run a nation by force.
Let me make sure I understand Joshua's view then. Joshua, are you saying to me that force is the only way to get there?
No.
Okay.
It's the ultimate final conclusion of a way. It's if any other option is off the table, force is just your last resort. Generally,
Actually, force should be the most streamlined way to get there.
I don't agree with that either.
If there's anyone that believes they can come back from that, I know we all
believe that
will
if
be the
force
one that does it, but
if force is your end goal, then you're going to end up with nothing. Because who's going to be there at the end? One man forcing everybody else?
Usually after 1,000 years, an empire falls anyway.
Yeah,
right?
there's been plenty of dictatorships. Plenty.
That's fact. That also
so I would say that peace must be the driving factor.
So name a 10-year period of history.
You can't even have peace without force.
I'm going to argue with Brick. You might get some help.
I never said that. I said that it's a balancing act, right? So in the law, it must be applicable to force and peace. Otherwise, you fail both ways. Because if you have only peace, then another nation comes in with force. If you have only force, you kill yourself.
Before you even get the name of any other kind of nation, by the way, thank you, Marathon Kev, for the 5. By the way, guys, we're gonna about have half an hour because I need to get up early in the morning for work. So go ahead. No, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Pussy.
Sure, stay at home guy.
Hey, I
never
bet
been
you
a
my day's
nation
a
that
whole
was
lot
this
busier
full
than
of
yours
peace.
is.
There's never been no utopian type nation. You can't name a nation that ever existed that it was just only peace. That don't exist.
Yeah,
Regarding
no,
that,
Never,
absolutely
never
not.
have.
Correct.
You
Correct.
can't even
So
name
what
a
are the
10-year.
chances that your shit's gonna work, Brick? If it
I'm
must be
saying
by
that it's got to
peace?
be a balance, and that the driving factor, the primary driving factor, not force, but
Yeah.
peace.
Anybody
Yeah,
agree or disagree with that?
The balance is just simply the breath in between throwing punches.
I love it. This sounds like this literally sounds like 300. Like all I want is what? Earth and water. Yeah, peaceful. You surrender earth and water. If not, I'm gonna just take it from you.
That's Josh,
How
right?
much time does it take to prepare for a fight? A lot longer
A lot
than
of
a
time.
fight, correct?
A huge amount of time.
Right. So during that time, it's called peacetime. Not
No, it's called preparation time.
It's called peacetime.
It would be fine if those are the only two groups that exist, right? But unfortunately, within the United States, we have a shit ton of different groups.
Hey, Brick, if I asked you, since the inception of the United States, what percent of time have we been at war?
There's been war since the beginning.
Yeah, 90-something percent.
Yeah, 100%. I would say because
you-
you
Yeah, it's actually been 200.
always
It's
at
been like
war because you got to.
234 out of
think there's
149
96.
years.
Because you have to worry
There's
about
been-
espionage.
but
There's
during that entire
espionage.
time, there
There's
has been
economic
moments of peace.
war. There's chemical warfare.
No,
There's
war,
all
war.
different type of wars on
War.
different levels.
96%
Political
of the
war.
time
No,
we've
due
been
diligence.
at
What
The
he's
war.
hell with
talking about
that?
is
America did war on their own citizens, like the whatever
Yeah.
it's sea
And there's been
breeze
peace that
in
whole time, too.
California. It's horrible.
Sea
No, that's
spray.
what they do
Sea
in
spray.
peacetime. They attack their own people.
Sea spray, they sprayed microbes on motherfuckers.
Just to be clear,
Yes.
we've been in an active declared war since 1954. It's never been settled. We are still under a current state of warfare.
Kind of what I'm
we're
drawing. my
still
point to
under
is I'm not
the
on this
same.
Lindsey
We're under.
Graham warmongering thing. It's just not conducive to a good, wholesome nation to just go to war all the time.
Now it's just a concept of like what's back to good and bad, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Your idea of wholesome, my idea
Conducive
of
is
wholesome
not good or
are
bad.
different things.
Conducive.
Morals. You're about to. This goes to
No,
morals.
I'm saying conducive, not good or bad. Conducive. I used literally that word.
So I would
case,
agree with you.
in that case, it serves their purpose. We
Yeah.
we are now globally a superpower because of warfare.
And peace.
No, we are an empire, not a superpower. And
Primarily.
Oh yeah, I guess now we want to call ourselves an empire. Okay.
Because of the fact that we have an industrialized nation, the best industrialized nation.
A
That's
military
subjective.
industry, right?
It's true.
an industrialized nation.
What makes it the best?
Grows off of what is
Wartime actually
we're a
creates the
consumer
industry.
economy for one. So how are we industrialized?
Wartime creates the industry.
Well, I think China.
That might have been the case back during World War II, but not
still
now
the
in the
case.
modern
We
era.
don't even make anything anymore.
It absolutely is 100% still the
China
case.
has a great argument. We owe them a lot of money.
If that's the case, then how did we end up in 2 recessions during the whole conflict in the damn desert over there? If war is
Because
profitable, it
political
creates
ideologues
industry.
tell you you're poor.
War is profitable
No,
to the
the
rich.
economy and my wallet is what tells me I'm poor, not ideologue.
So then why do you believe what they tell you? If
You
if
just
they
said
told
you
you
don't.
we're in a recession and you believed them,
No, you can feel we're in the recession.
Yeah, you
You
can
feel
probably
it?
tell.
Expensive.
I'm doing
Hey,
just
you
fine.
go to the store to buy gas and it's too fucking expensive.
I did just
Yeah.
fine through all of it.
Right, and you hear everybody else around you complaining. You wouldn't just go by you. You'd go out, you hear what niggas talking about on the internet, and everybody whining, talking about the price of gas. There's a
Yeah.
hint or a clue that you might be in a recession.
Nah,
Well,
that just means that you're in a country with a bunch of fucking.
Yeah.
Well,
all
you
the-
tell me, Brett. How do you know, Brick? How do you know you're in a recession then? If not by those
you
ways.
Personally,
No.
is it a personal thing? Because
No. How do you know your country's in? Don't do the word shit. It looks fearful, and you look fearful enough already.
No, bro,
It's-
it's not fear, bro. I
What's
don't
a
fear
fear?
this shit, bro.
Well, why
I
didn't you
live
just
for this.
answer the question?
What the fuck?
You
are
know what I
talking
meant.
about?
How do you know that we're in a recession?
I don't know whether you're involved in a
See,
recession.
you gotta do the word shit, right?
Because you and me,
You don't understand what I'm
literally
saying?
live in a different.
Here we go.
location
Just
than I do.
answer the
He
question,
asked
Brick.
you, Brick.
Florida,
He's
look,
got to
Florida,
dodge.
Florida did.
He's got to
just
die.
fine.
Joe, you got to be
Okay, but
super specific or I'm
would
going to
one
fucking
know?
Florida
dance
actually
around all fucking
increased
night.
their monetary
right.
gain.
How would
Go
Hey,
off,
hey,
Joe.
hey, how do
Go
you
off, Joe.
identify if the country's
Florida
in a
did
recession,
Duck,
Brick?
dodge, dip, dive, and
How?
dive.
Yes, duck, dodge, dick,
ID.
duck, dodge. How do you identify when the country is in a recession, Brick?
I don't.
So
Generally,
we were
the
talking about the
401k
definition of a recession. You don't have one to add, but you'll say that other people are wrong when they say it's a
I never
recession.
said they were wrong. What?
Okay. We weren't talking about everybody was wrong when they said a recession. You did just fine. Everybody was wrong.
Yes, he did tell me I didn't know what I was talking about when I brought up 2 recessions.
So
I said that you believe what political ideologues say. I didn't say you don't know what you're talking about.
All
Why are
right.
you going to tell people that I said something that I didn't say? Is it because that you can't engage with the actual conversation?
He's still ducking and dodging. This isn't pretty.
This motherfucker learned from Floyd Mayweather, bro.
I'm saying duck, dodge, dip, dodgeball.
Like, what the fuck?
Why you sit and don't engage in conversation?
Judo
Right, you're not communicating, man. It just looked like a rat in the corner and somebody throwing a broom at it and you jumping over walls. And you think you're up here fucking looking good or something?
Instead of just speaking out and saying the wildest shit and accusing people of saying
No,
shit
no,
that they
no,
didn't
no,
say,
no one's
you
saying
could
that but
actually
you.
just engage.
You're
with
hanging on a word. I
conversation.
say, how tall is Dr. J? Was he really a doctor, Joe? That's the shit you doing, man, and everybody sees it.
Talking about the Dr. J with the Chuck Taylor's arm? We talking about
Was
the
he a
bear.
Are we talking about the
Was he a
chucks or when he had
PhD
the afro?
Are we talking about Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre, maybe. I
Did
don't
Dr.
know.
Dre do pap smears or just was he?
He's a guy, no.
What's
bro.
amazing though that this conversation has literally turned to what does Brick say? What did he say? What did he say?
You
But
did
you
it,
don't
Brick.
know.
You had a piece in that, bro.
You keep accusing me of saying things that I didn't say.
Wait, wait,
Yes.
That's
Yes, that's
you,
exactly
you're not
what
saying
it
shit.
was.
That's what everybody's talking about, Brick.
So now am I supposed to say something? Then
Everybody's trying to ask you a question like, stop waving your fucking wagging your goddamn political hand at everybody and answer the fucking question.
So therefore he's wrong.
This question fucking makes him nervous. It's weird. It's like watching my
It's that you
ex.
want me to say the wrong thing, and
No,
I'm not
that's it. You just told on yourself, nigga. You're afraid you're gonna say the wrong shit. That's why you dance. You just told on yourself.
Wrong.
You think I'm gonna say the wrong thing? He is trying his hardest not to say the wrong thing. That is what all this weird shit is about.
Motherfucker, Brick. You need to get your motherfucking shit
verbal
together,
judo
fool.
for a reason. When you fall flat on your face, I'm sitting here laughing.
You wouldn't be able to identify because you've been on your back for fucking the last half
I
hour.
didn't realize
Never.
that. Like
Never.
2 or 3 or 4 people trying to tell me what I told you, and they were wrong the whole
You
time.
talk about to let the shoelaces in, but what kind of shoes was he wearing, Joe? That's what I was talking about. And you think you got a W up here anywhere?
I'm going to tell you, I didn't like the tone that you spoke to Brick in, Joe. Your tone was way off.
All right.
Yeah, facts. Take some of that bass out your voice, Joe.
So
you need a little bit more mid-range and some treble there, sir.
I'm being a bit of a troll, but I am being a troll. I am just drinking a break intentionally, and I'm having fun doing it. I could be a better man.
It's not really working, so try again.
Don't get me started. It's super easy.
Your rosation going crazy right now.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Go ahead, Joe. Keep going.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Hey, Joe, he wasn't triggered. His voice naturally pitch changes.
Pitch octaves going 3 octaves.
Angry Snowman's got to do it for you. Go, Snowman, go.
I almost called him ma'am.
Let's get another 12 hours.
What'd you say, ma'am?
At least a couple.
Snowman, get another 12 hours.
Pretty
really, you're going to stay here and say
go
shit
for
about me when you literally spend all day hanging off of a guy's nuts, dude. That's all you do is hang off people's nuts.
12 more, bruh.
Hey, you at this point now, Break, where you're so afraid of having an argument, you're just going to start talking over people. See if I'm right.
No, Joe. You're still accusing.
We'll see. I'm predicting the future. We'll see.
Accusing, and it's your problem. It's not mine.
Hey, Brent, does your beard hairs ever get caught in the cage of that microphone every once in a while?
Never had that problem.
Just asking.
All right, so here, let's talk about something so I can see how long it takes Brick to get uncomfortable. Fuck it, I guess I'm back to that dude.
Let's go.
So you were saying, Brick, the best way to rule this country is through peace. What are the odds that we pull that off?
Actually, that's not exactly what I was saying.
It is not exactly what you said. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
I would
so can
say
we get
that-
exactly what the fuck you said? Actually,
Yeah.
probably not.
I can do that. So primarily through peace.
But what does that look like? What you
Yeah.
got to name the system. What system is primarily through peace?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Identify it as best you can if one doesn't exist.
It's called self-defense.
Keep going. That sounds like Bruce Lee to me. Keep going.
Yeah.
The best way to run a nation is through
So
self-defense.
basically, you have no idea.
Defend our borders.
So you want a bunch of
Defend our-
mercenaries?
He's going. He's giving it to us. Defend the borders. Go ahead.
The
Keep-
military.
Hey, Blind, look at the private chat.
I don't care about private chat.
Go ahead.
The primary, the only job of the military is to defend our borders.
That'd be a step toward peace. I think. I'm imagining the guys will come out with 18 ways where it would also be
Now,
detrimental.
what happens when somebody comes to take, or somebody wants to take one of our trade routes and shit like that, or else?
Yeah, see, there you go.
That's
Good
part
one,
of the
Bob.
border.
No, like
What if
You just
it
give them
was-
a
Actually
turn
enumerated
talking
in the
to.
Constitution.
what if
Is our border at Panama?
oh
The private chat, Blind.
We have territories.
or yeah, what if we're
And
in
treaties.
Saudi Arabia and they're our number one oil exporter at the time, they're our best friend, and someone's cutting off their pipeline, invading them? Do we just let it happen and go without the oil?
So we have treaties, and it kind of depends on what the treaty says.
So it's not necessarily just the borders. There is more to this.
No, part of that is our borders. The treaties are literally like
Okay,
a line
so
in the sand.
when you say a border, funny me, I was thinking about where the fucking people cross all the fucking time,
Okay.
whether it be
Yeah.
through the car or whatever.
Let's do this.
However, when you said border, what you really meant was any country that we have a fucking embassy in.
And you don't know how to thrive
those
with that.
Or an
values
interest
for American
in.
oil.
You would never thrive, bro, because America has thrived through taking resources
doing just
from other
fine.
countries.
America's doing just
Like,
fine.
Because there's somebody in the dark
Because
room.
we got
that's
bases
willing
in
to
200
say,
do
"Oh,
better
we
when we
need
don't-
other countries.
Look, we do better when we don't meddle in foreign affairs.
Bro,
What if
we
we
know
don't
more
meddle in
for-
foreign affairs?
What in God's name are you talking about? There's never,
We've
that's
been
never
since
happened
I
one
was
time
a
ever.
teenager.
Hold on,
We've been
Vietnam
in the
didn't
Middle East.
exist.
I've never seen this imaginary world that you live in where we don't meddle in
Vietnam?
other people's affairs.
we got our ass kicked in Vietnam.
Why do you believe that happened?
Apparently,
By your definition, Vietnam is now our border because we have a
We
defense
have
treaty
embassies there,
with
yes, where we
fucking
have to
Vietnam.
stand.
Literally,
we have
communist
treaties.
country.
We have
Here's the thing,
treaties.
right? So we went in there by force and we got our ass kicked. You proved my point. Thank you.
But we
Yeah.
won. because
Actually, I'm pretty sure
apparently by your
the
definition,
South
we didn't
Vietnam asked us to come
trying.
help them.
We didn't
No,
stop
no, by
trying.
your
We got our ass
definition,
kicked in
since then.
Vietnam.
By your
You
definition,
cannot sit here
Vietnam
and
is our
pretend like in
country
any
now.
way that we actually gained ground.
We
in
hold an
Vietnam.
active.
Bro, do you
defense
realize how much we
treaty
have taken?
with
If we
Vietnam?
okay,
Your
since
definition
Vietnam, we've had
applies.
the,
Now Vietnam is us. We won.
yeah, we didn't stop. Vietnam didn't take us over, fool. Like we still had the Iraqi war. We still
Been
had
there,
Desert
we got a bunch of our
Storm.
boys killed. It's great. Yeah. Hey, that's a win. We won.
It was.
A bunch of our boys killed. It's great.
No, we
You were right, Joe. You were right.
The
We
fuck
probably would have had to. We probably would have had to already be sucking Chinese dicks if it wasn't for taking that oil out
Not
of the
me,
Middle
man.
East.
You always got to take it to that homoerotic bullshit, boy.
I'm
And- and to be fair,
He's
right?
trying to
be
be
thankful-
inclusive for me.
And to be fair, be thankful for your fucking underwear because that's where your shit's made.
What?
So it sounds, Brick, like you're
That was
saying
actually
we
well
do have to.
constructed and put together joke.
It really was. I enjoyed that
That
one.
wasn't bad.
Sure.
That wasn't bad at
But,
all.
but if we operate based on the fact that force must outweigh the peace, then we will fail.
All right, maybe that's a better statement. We need to do more peace. I
Force
think that was the
always
original
being the
statement.
underlying threat is what's going to keep society in check.
I mean, I agree with what Brick is saying, but when he can't describe what it looks like, it's just words. It's just words without
He's
meaning.
describing what we have now. We help anybody where we have an embassy at, which means we're going to end up going to war. He's describing the system we had now when we asked him for what the peace system looks like.
Yep.
Which is force.
Right.
Not primarily.
Exactly. Or
Primarily
the threat of. Or the threat of.
Tell us this peace system again, Brick. What's it look like?
Force, threatening to kick people's ass.
Exactly.
And kicking ass.
We're cool for the moment, but
or taking the resources.
This is how it works. Yeah. We're cool for the moment, but fuck around and find out though.
Trade.
Exactly.
That's always how it's been. Like traditionally, historically, like that's how it's been. Like fuck around and find out. We cool, but y'all be cool though. So we can have this like ever looming like factor or like this thought. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
so which
this
came
beautiful.
first?
Hold on, bro. Let me land my plane. We can have this like little utopian ideology or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, though, motherfuckers know not to play with us. You know?
But which came first?
We got
chicken or
something
the egg?
I don't give a fuck.
Don't
We're
play
here
with
now.
us.
Like fuck the chicken and the egg. We here where we are. We're
So
right
the
here
chicken
right
is
now.
peace, the egg is force.
No,
Which
the
came
SmackDown came
well, fuck the
first because
chicken
they
and
know
fuck
not to
the
fuck
egg,
with
bro.
America for a reason.
Which came
The fuck
first?
that
The
got to
chicken
do
or
with
the
it?
egg? Was it
The
SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Do with it.
The
Or
SmackDown. The SmackDown came first because without the SmackDown, there would be no America because they smacked the shit out of the Native Americans first.
The first thing they did was they sat down and they wrote it out.
No, they
Declaration of
genocided
Independence.
people
Who the
first.
fuck
Then
is
they
they?
sent it.
Yeah, you
and
skipping a few
Genocided
words.
first.
You
legal and
skipping
lawful
some shit.
document, and if you don't accept it, then we
Nobody
go to
gives a
force
fuck
out of
what the law
self-defense.
says.
Your
They didn't write the
goddamn mouth, Brick.
Constitution
You
before
watch
they
your
took the land.
motherfucking mouth,
They
Brick.
took the land and then wrote the Constitution,
know what
bro.
you're
What are you
talking
talking about?
No.
Exactly.
The Declaration of Independence is
Break
the
it all
founding
express be
document.
writing out a
After they
constitution.
slaughtered
Actually, no, it's
everybody
not.
that lived here.
The first governing document we had was the
All right.
Mayflower Compact.
1776
That was the very
is
first
when our
governing
country was
document in
born.
America.
Which one came first, the chicken or the egg? That
The
would be the
Mayflower
Declaration of
Compact
Independence.
was our
The
first
slaughtering of the Native
governing
Americans came
document.
first.
People
The
are so
force.
dumb. They don't
Whose
understand
country?
legal and lawful.
Whose country you talking about? Whose country?
Legal.
Over here before your
Brick's talking
motherfucking
about a
people got over
different
here.
country,
Let's talk about that.
Canada or
Whose
something.
fuck country you talking about?
Who's your people?
Brick's Canadian.
What
Must
the hell
be.
you mean, you people? What you mean by that, Brick?
You know damn
legal-
well what he meant.
Legal and lawful, right? So the difference between the two is it's a document when it comes to legal, and then lawful. Well, anything goes at that point.
Didn't they take the land before they wrote up the Constitution?
Yeah, because the first document we had, like I said, was the Mayflower Compact, and then after that we had the Articles of Confederation, which governed this country.
Does anybody on this panel actually know when the birth of the
Hold
nation
on, Brick.
actually
Can
is?
bro? Hold on, Brick. Can bro finish his statement before you just like over talking?
No,
God damn.
Go ahead,
Angry.
Snowman.
Come
I
on, Snowman. God
apologize.
damn, fool.
I'm gonna let you fall on your face.
You're fucking up Joe's prediction.
No, this is great. No, this is great.
But when I hear somebody say something that just it's so, I'm sorry, Snowman, it's so dumb. The
It's
Mayflower
not dumb because
Compact-
you're sitting here saying that the Constitution was already written when this.
No, I didn't say anything about the Constitution. That was
He said
man who
Declaration
brought
of
up the
Independence.
Constitution.
Okay,
See,
the
bro, you
Declaration
couldn't
of
let him have
Independence. You're
three
saying that
fucking
was already
sentences.
written, and you are wrong.
Declaration of
Sir.
Independence was the birth of this nation.
Cap. No, it wasn't.
Oh, was it not? I didn't realize that every 4th of July we don't celebrate the birth of the nation when it's supposed to have arrived.
See, this
And
my
landed
problem
on
with you.
the
What's all
king's
this
desk.
weed shit, bro? What's all this weed shit? You keep talking about weed and weed this.
You
and
don't
weed that.
celebrate the 4th of July?
Yeah, can't be like we? You mean like Nintendo Wii?
You ain't heard of
Exactly.
June
What's
19th?
what's up with all this weed shit?
Juneteenth.
you don't-
Greg?
We don't
celebrate
we
the 4th
don't
of July?
celebrate we don't celebrate the 4th of July. We celebrate Juneteenth.
What does it mean?
All right.
What's
Talking about
But
this
do
weed
you-
shit.
do
Man.
you-
Talking about what
Brick.
the fuck you do.
Cat,
Talking about what the
Cat.
fuck you do. Stop trying to
Okay,
reinforce
fine.
your
The
shit.
we that I'm
What the
speaking of
fuck?
happens to be law-abiding citizens of the United States.
Oh, okay.
But
And then those
Brick,
criminals. Ain't no
you
criminals
missed,
ever
you
celebrated
missed the
the 4th of
point though,
July.
because the point of the conversation was you asked what comes first. You asked, does the force come first or does the peace come first? Meaning that like when the country was founded, the point that we was making was in order for the country to be founded, it was force first. They had to take the shit before they could even form the country. So that was the point we were talking about.
How did they
Very
take it?
good.
How did they
Right. That's
Hold on,
right.
you can't just say something. It's a platitude. And
Man,
it's not,
excellent job
it's not
by
true.
Dude
How
bringing
did
it back
they
around.
take it?
They fought for it. They killed for it. They
Okay,
was down
and
for it.
how? Wait,
They
which
literally
one,
went
which
to
one did they
war
do
with-
first? Did they sign the document first, or did they go to
Bro,
war?
why are
first?
you?
No,
why are
what
you the
happened
way you
before
are?
that? What happened before that?
What
That's what Dude was
happened
talking
before?
about.
There is no before that. That is the birth of the nation. That
It
is
was
the
No, there
13.
literally is a before that. What was the reason why the Declaration was
the
actually
Boston
written?
Massacre was-
Why was it written, Brick?
Oh my God! Do you know what a birth certificate is?
Why was it
Do
written?
you know what
Brick?
a birth certificate is, Snowman?
Bro, there was violence before. There
Do
was violence
you
before
know
the
what
Continental
a
Congress ever
birth
formed. I mean,
certificate is?
we get it. You're a coward and incapable
Do
of
you
violence.
know
This is
what a
beyond you.
birth
We get it.
certificate is?
Stop
Well,
yelling,
no.
bro. You always yelling. Stop yelling.
You
God
know
damn.
what
Stop
a
yelling.
birth certificate
So
is?
Stop
You
yelling.
make
before
illegal
the Declaration,
documentation called a birth certificate. Do you
so
know what that is?
So
And this is
before
my
the
problem.
Declaration of Independence, right, you had the doctrine of discovery. The doctrine of discovery
That's
is when
not the birth of the
they found
nation. What?
whenever they
Stop talking,
found
Brick.
America and they found Native Americans already living here. They went to the
God, are
Pope.
these
They
people
said, Pope,
retarded?
hey, we found the land of milk and honey, but there are already people living there.
No
What
milk
should
and
we
honey
do?
in the
Right.
The
fucking
Pope
Civil
then
War.
said,
What the
are
fuck
they
are you
Christians?
talking
They
about?
said, no, they're not
That ain't
Christians. Well,
peace.
then you can
Milk and
force them
honey
to
only
You're
convert
right,
exists
Joe.
or
in
chop their head
There we
off.
go. There we go.
Man,
Due diligence
Brick.
is 100%
Bro, shut the
correct.
fuck up, Brick.
Yeah,
So we
you
can
got
hear what the fuck
endless
bro is
energy,
saying.
Brick. I swear to God,
Stupid.
fool, you don't ever fucking run out, dog.
Bro.
Holy cow. People cannot
Spazzing
Man,
out.
holy cow. Man, shut
People
the
The
fuck up.
White
argument,
man voice, you put a crybaby voice,
not
Joe.
know what
Brick, we
birth
did pull the argument.
is.
The argument was what came first, violence or
Yeah.
peace. You're
What came
saying,
first? The birth
excuse
certificate?
me.
Black man is talking. Listen and learn.
You said you're talking about just the inception of what we call the United States.
Right.
But if you take the question as a whole, violence is an argument that made that even possible.
You bitch.
Wow.
You'd have to
I'm
agree,
telling
right?
you,
Wow.
I don't know if you know George Washington came over here.
How
Not
did
George Washington.
conception
Fuck, I
happen?
when you're
can't
such a mouthy
Christopher
cunt,
Columbus. He
How
came
did
over here.
conception happen for
Hey,
you? Was
hey.
that through war?
Christopher Columbus came over here, and these were his words.
How did
Rick,
you
have you ever been
He
punched
wrote
in the
a.
face
I know
by
mine did it through
Oh,
love
Let me
and
see if I can
peace.
find
They
the
didn't
exact
fucking fight.
fucking words.
They
Oh, he quoting
Uncle,
Diddy
you're
now.
dealing with a
love,
man
love,
child
love.
that's
Man,
never been.
not
Hey,
at all.
Brett,
True love
wouldn't
and peace.
violence
Where
have
was that
prompted
at?
them?
know what legal
No.
documents are.
Naked
Breck,
force
would-
has solved more disputes in human
It
history
does
than
look.
anything
Wouldn't-
else.
Force doesn't
Breck,
exist
Breck,
without legal
wouldn't
right.
violence?
Your mom doesn't
wouldn't
exist.
Brett, 1 second, guys. Wouldn't
Because guess what
violence have
happens?
prompted them to
If you
sign the
take-
Declaration of
If you take
Independence?
force into your own hand without legality, you go to jail.
Has nothing
What
to do with
happened?
what
Brick,
came
Brick, let
first.
me ask you a serious question. What happened first? You going to work
Or you getting a
or
job?
me tap dancing on the bitch?
Bruh, if you
What happened
don't
first?
understand
What
what
happened
the hell
first?
a legal document is, I can't, dude.
Bro,
I just
okay, where's
can't.
the Declaration of Independence before the war? Because the one we have is after the fucking war.
No,
Oh, yeah?
actually, the Declaration declared war.
Bro, I guarantee you we had to have
No, what I'm saying is the Declaration is where we actually declared war with England.
No, it's declared independent.
it's where we
It
declare
literally is
independence.
in the title of the document.
We already
It doesn't
went
say
through the war.
declaration of war.
No,
Listen. God bless everybody, man. God bless everybody. You know,
All right.
I'll be trolling
God.
up here to a certain extent. Resla, I see you, Ty, my boy. Appreciate
Easy.
you having me
It was
up.
fun, Kev.
God bless, Joe. Good to see everybody, man.
Easy,
I'm gone.
Peace, Kev. You be
Peace,
safe.
Kev.
Fuck you, Brick. You
Yeah, I'm
bitch.
out of here too, man. I can't handle this shit. I can only
Yeah,
handle
I
Red's
got
about
bless
to shut it
everybody.
down anyway, so I'm out too. Peace.
All right, yeah.
Shit, I'm here for it. We can keep going if we want.
Nah, he's gonna be closing.
I like bashing my head up against the brick.
Me too on some certain times.
I want to thank you guys for the recruitment. It wasn't my intention, right? But you're all becoming fascist slowly. Thank you.
You're welcome, Joshua Jones. I told him you knew what you were doing.
Thank you, Brick. You helped my side. Thank you.
Yes, your stupidity has made fascists of ardent libertarians. How does that make you feel?
I disagree.
Of course you would. You're a contrarian. You disagree with everything that's proposed.
Yes. Brick, there was a piece over here, semblance of it, when Christopher Columbus got over here. The paper that he wrote back to them, it read something like, these people are absolutely peaceful. They will give you anything just at the request. They are all smiles and teeth. I've never seen anything like it before. In the next sentence, they should be easy to overcome. 17 men with guns, and we should be able to dominate them quickly. So without the fucking war, that's what happens with the peace.
Yeah, so there was a commission that was written for him to come over here before that happened, though. So that was
I agree. I know what's the point. Yes. How does that dispute the war shit? What
he was looking for a trade route
without war. Give war a chance.
He was looking for a trade route.
What was that got to do with anything?
What's the whole point of trade and economics?
The purpose. It's about the purpose, right? The purpose was there.
We're talking about
that explains everything.
It was a peaceful purpose of trade route.
Yeah, but he didn't have America.
Whoa. At that time, we did not live in this in this unipolar world at the time, so there was no peace in trade. It was mercantilism.
Here's the funny thing about that too, is that's the reason why Britain lost.
Britain lost what? It was the largest empire in the world for the longest.
And they lost.
Yeah, and
twice.
What did they lose?
The people
lost the whole goddamn
America
country.
Fucking won the war, and we're Americans.
They still had Canada. They still had the Caribbean. They still had the Pacific. They still had India.
Stupid. What are we? Are we just entertaining?
They still have it. Wait, what?
Oh my god.
This is stupid.
Okay. Hi everyone. How's it going? Hey Resla, how you doing, man? You doing okay?
Who is that? I can't see.
I guess we just gonna we just gonna rock out. Okay.
It's Bumpkin.
Okay.
Hey, how's it going? So I heard we're advocating for fascism.
He ran right up.
I'm sorry. What's going on here?
Fashionable.
You got some backup, Joshua. If you still up here,
quick, get to the Batmobile.
Quickly to the Fashionable. Away.
But what is even the argument about?
Fashionable is a '69 Dodge Charger.
I think we're arguing about whether force is the best way to go. Josh is a stern supporter, and I think Brick thinks soft hand.
Soft hand.
I don't
I'd
understand.
like to see that ever happen in history.
And somebody said it's more expedient to just get them over with and use that force. It's a shorter path. That wasn't a bad argument.
Yeah,
but I mean, so we have differing ends of the spectrum. We both recognize that there is a need for both.
There's a lot of
peace
spectrum.
and force. There's a need for both peace and force, but it's just a simple disagreement. And it's really not.
It's not really simple. It's very fundamental.
It's not really what
into this.
It's not really what the conversation was supposed to be, but because people just didn't want to allow me to have my belief, they had to argue with me that I'm wrong.
Well,
No! You literally laid claim that I said stuff that I never said.
Did I?
What are you talking about?
Really?
It was very skillful how you distracted from blind looking like an imbecile and then made it yourself. It was great.
Really?
Fucking Joe, dude.
He saved you, Brian. Oh, Brian,
he things like that and not tell me what they are. What specifically did you say?
Hey, bro, hold on. Hey, Brick,
did you not say that I said?
Hold on. Brick, have y'all noticed the panels operate like a chick that gets like beat up by her dude? Like the shit'll happen.
They hadn't noticed, though.
And then they just keep telling the story over and over and over of what happened. And it's like, yes, bitch, we get it. Yes.
No, we moved on, Brick, and you want to fucking play the victim one last time.
No, actually, that's not accurate. That's not accurate.
It's my perception, and you want to argue it, though.
Specifically, you tried to
to explain the point, but you weren't very good at it.
Yeah, you're talking about something other than what I'm just talking about. I'm just talking about.
Yeah, you guys are the dummies.
And then you
I
went
said
into the
that's not
thing
really
where
what
you
the
said,
conversation was supposed to
and
be
had
about.
you not attacked me.
I said that's not really what the conversation was supposed to be about.
Yeah.
What is the conversation
Joshua
about?
had a
Yes,
viewpoint.
and then
Everybody doesn't want me to have my viewpoint. Seems
Then
like.
you rolled
So
over
I'm not
on your
allowed to
back and
have
talked
it,
about
and
how you
I've
get
got to be
attacked all
wrong.
the time.
Was the topic at all about your viewpoint?
I just said that I don't agree with you, and then everybody, including you, wanted me to clarify why I don't agree with you.
So what's wrong with that? Why do you
agree about what? What are you talking about?
Nothing. You guys moved from conversation to conversation. You went from talking about from whatever in conversation, then you went from talking about the difference in how people have been able to interpret how they want to deal with people. Then you guys moved on to religion. Then you guys moved on to politics. Now you got to talking about the goddamn Revolutionary War. You guys never stay on topic, which is the whole point of saying, what exactly resolution did you get down to? Or you just shift from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, which is exactly what you did. Kind of making the point that I said earlier today, even in my monologue. So, yeah, guys, you see it for yourself. If not, go back and take a look on the replay. You don't clean, you shift. With that being said, I'll catch you on the next one because I am tired. Stay opinionated, y'all.